There we go. This is awesome.
I know it is.
May I say right now that I have my son around, so it might be a little hard for
Yeah,
me.
same here. I got 4 kids. So.
And I got my daughter right here.
Hold on. I'm mute. Flo, we can hear you now.
Hi, Flo.
Hey, Flo.
Hi, Flo.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. Gina, where are you?
I'm walking down my
Go sit
street.
down somewhere, go sit down. Hi.
Hi.
Who's that little blonde girl that just came in with the shirt?
Me?
Yeah, you.
What's your name?
Yo.
I'm Bree.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hi, guys.
Hold on. Say that again?
I'm Bree.
That's Bree Ashley.
Oh, okay, bro. Yeah. I'm sorry. Everybody looks too raw right now. It's weird. Just kidding.
Wait, how can you see how many people are
This
here?
is cute.
Right
Okay,
now,
if you swipe your finger like
Mimi.
to the left,
Yes. Hey, Bill.
squares.
there's 8 people
Yeah.
in here right now. You can make a
Oh, no.
screen to see everybody at the same time.
How do I do that?
Mine's not letting me. It's
Are you
telling
guys
me
on the phone or laptop?
A
I'm
phone.
on my phone.
That's probably
Phone.
why.
It easily.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like if I swipe to the left, I can see like everybody who's in here, but it won't give me all the people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I only get 4 per screen.
Oh, me too.
Wait, you okay?
Sweet.
Wait, I don't even know what the heck I'm doing right now. I never had this app before.
Hello? Where is... Yo, Flo got out. I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah. She left.
She'll come back.
Oh, wait, what am I doing?
Thank you everyone for joining.
That's a lot of people.
Yes, there is. All right, Flo's coming back right now.
Wait.
Woohoo. Okay. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Can everybody hear each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess if you're on a computer, you could see everyone at the same time. Mimi, what up?
I'm recording it.
What up,
I can see everybody at the same time.
Okay.
Bissa's coming. There we go.
Yeah. We'll wait for people to come in.
Flo, I'm gonna mark you as a host also, so you can mute
Okay.
if you want to mute or whatever.
Go ahead. Yeah. Do that.
See.
Mimi, how you feeling? You good?
I'm good. My son, I did an egg hunt with him outside in the yard.
I just did that with the kids too.
Yeah.
How you doing? What's your name? What's the good? Bessa! What's that, son? I'm so happy right now. You see? This is cool.
I'm trying to unmute everybody.
Yeah, how can we do? I want to see everyone.
I don't even know how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't either. I'm like new. Me too.
I'm all
This is
beginning.
I don't.
Yeah.
This is my first time. My
You're
first
all
I've
time.
been
baby.
quarantined
You
my
don't
whole life, so this shit is normal.
That's a fact, though. That's
Oh
a
wait,
fact.
just swipe to
Listen,
the right or I figured it out. Hey guys.
Oh, there you go. Wait,
I see 4 people. I see 3 others
people.
right
You know
now.
how mine is going? Mine is going like back towards the people. I
Oh,
think
you
that's
just
how
have
it
to
works.
keep
Look,
swiping to the right.
let me show you something. I think Zoom works like this. Whoever's talking, it goes to those people.
No, mine just switched while
I
you were
think that's how it
talking.
works.
I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
but
then that's not how it
literally, if
works.
I'm swiping, I can see like whoever. Yeah, now I'm seeing that one screen, but when you started talking, it cut you off.
Sadie,
Yeah.
can you make it so everybody can see me while I talk too, or no? Or it has to. It's like
All right. Is Flo pinned? Did I pin Flo, guys?
No, it's still
No?
switching back and
No,
forth.
it just switches to who's talking.
It goes to
Yeah.
whoever's talking.
I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
How it goes, yeah. It's
Just
okay,
swipe
that's
to the
fine.
left and right so you can see different people.
So hold on, swipe to the right. Oh, I see, I got it. I got 4 people on my screen now.
Yeah, it's all.
And
all
then
you
if
gotta
I
do
go
is
to the
swipe.
right, oh, okay. All right, so here's how we're going to do this, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I'm even though I'm the so-called topic like leader discussion person, I want everyone to put in, this is about, okay, I don't know if you guys ever been to like, okay, an NA meeting or a meeting where somebody brings up a topic and then other people discuss on it and stuff like that. So that's basically what I wanted to do with this thing. I wanted to go like talk about signs that you're going through a spiritual awakening, shadow work, how to know if you're an empath, because this is like spiritual stuff. So if you guys want to go on that route or you want to go on like free talking, you guys let me know. But I wanted to like discuss some things because I know everybody's in here for a reason. Everybody's going through something spiritual and they're opening their eyes to something new, and that's the point of this. I want us all to like understand what the fuck is going on, you know what I mean? Because I've went through it myself. So, and plus I want to talk about relationships and stuff like that. So but I want everyone to chime in. I don't want to be the only one. You understand?
Okay, well.
What? Everybody introduce yourself. First things first. Ready?
Yeah.
Everybody introduce yourselves one at a time. We'll start with Sadie. Say hi to everyone.
Hi, everybody.
We all know
Whoever
Sadie.
doesn't know me, I'm Sadie. I'm the girl from Lavish. How's everybody doing today?
Okay. Then we got Brienne over here.
Hi.
Then we got. Then who's next to Brienne?
I don't know.
Jessica.
Jessica?
Yes.
Okay. Jessica, say hi to everyone.
Hello.
Okay. And then we got who else? Who else is here? Because say your names, everybody. What's your name?
I'm Kayla.
Nigel.
Nigel. Where's Nigel? Oh,
I'm right here.
Okay. I see it. Hi. Hey. And who's that? Tyreek. Hi, Tyreek.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good. Hi, Felicia.
I have to get off and come back on.
Hi, Felicia. Not bye, Felicia, but hi, Felicia. Okay, and then there's Jasmine, but you can't see her.
Hi, everybody. It's Jasmine, Miss Red 84 on IG.
Nice to meet you guys all, man. This is good because this is just the beginning of like what's gonna. This is just the beginning of what's gonna happen. Who's talking?
I didn't get to say my name. Sorry, my son's all over me. I'm Marisol.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm Lisa from Instagram. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Jasmine.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi. Good. How are you guys? Okay. So,
Right.
can everybody say where they're from? Can everybody real quickly just say where they're from?
I'm from Florida.
Jersey.
We're from Staten Island.
Go to Texas.
Staten Island. I heard Jersey, Staten Island, Vegas.
Illinois.
Long
Illinois.
Island, even though I was born and raised in
Florida.
Illinois.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, cool. So you guys, just so you know, this is just the beginning of what's gonna happen.
No, eat
Because
it. You can cook it now.
Well, nobody
right now,
can see you.
who,
Yeah,
me?
no, I can't see you.
Hold on.
Let me do the request.
Because I went to. Maybe because I went to. Okay,
It's a
all right.
lot going on.
Got me?
Yeah, I got it.
Got me? I'm good now?
Yeah.
All right, Damon.
Okay.
Stop. Yes, she
Right.
sees you. My son's like, she sees
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, G. Stop.
All right, guys.
I'm gonna wrap it off.
So I'm just gonna wait till all the noises settle down a little bit.
Right, yeah. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down for real. That's loud.
Flo, where's Flo? Hold on. Flo.
Yes.
All right. Everyone's muted right now, so we could unmute
Some people
whoever.
froze, I think.
So you can start, and then I'll unmute everybody.
Okay. All right, everyone. Okay, so everybody's muted right now, but it's only because I wanted to talk about some things. Okay. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the signs that you're going through a spiritual awakening, okay? So, like, I wanted to talk about this because if everybody here is on that shadow work and everybody's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on and why they always feel like they're different, why they feel like an outcast, why they feel like relationships don't work out, why they feel like they pick the same guys, they do the same things. I'm gonna show you some signs that you're understanding that you're changing and you're shifting. Okay, so we got signs that you're having a spiritual awakening. I wrote some stuff down that I felt when I was going through it, and I don't know if you don't have to call it a spiritual awakening. You can call it like waking up to the game, basically, for my hood logo. Okay, so we got your behavior spontaneously begins to change for the better. You're experiencing a deepening of your emotional, like you start to feel everybody's emotions around you. You start to feel like everybody around you is like, when they're sad, you're sad. When they're mad, you're mad. When they're happy, you're happy. You're slowing down and reflecting on your past to understand the present. Okay, so that's another big thing. I don't want people feeling guilty about their past. So if you did something in your past and you're feeling guilty about it, guilt does not exist in the spirit world. So if you guys know that I connect with spirit and I always, like, I have dreams, I talk to them, I communicate with them, they speak to me. Okay, so I'm claircognizance. Like, that's where somebody who's just like, they're not like hearing voices or they're not seeing visions. I see some visions, but I basically know. It's just like a knowing in my head. We all have a specific gift about us, right? So some of you may realize that every time somebody's going to talk, you can like speak for them. You'll know what they're going to say next. Like, you'll have that feeling of like, you already know what they're going to say. Or if something's going to happen, you feel it. You're like, holy shit, I feel like this is going to happen. And it does. You'll have dreams that tell you things are happening. Your friends always come to you for advice every single time. They're always coming to you for advice. These are signs that there's some sort of gift in you, because we all have certain types of gifts, right? So some of us can have the gift of knowing. Some of us can have the gift of seeing before it happens. Some of us will have like a stomach ache when we go somewhere. We just already know something bad's going to happen, not because we're thinking it, but we can sense it. And I don't know if anybody's ever had that before. But after I say this, I'm going to unmute everybody because I want to hear everybody's take back, like feeling like what like if this ever happened to them. Okay, so you're slowing down, reflect on your past and understanding the present. Your priorities and values are changing from the material world towards the spiritual concerns. Your inner world is becoming a primary aspect of your life experience. Like, you're starting to worry more about your inner being instead of what's going on in the outer being. Like, what am I wearing? How do I look? Those things become less and less important to you when you have a spiritual awakening. You're beginning to hold things together easily. Like, you're starting to figure things out. You manifest very easily. If you want something, you'll realize it just happens. This is the way you know you're a manifester too. You're willing to be honest with yourself and others, and you take responsibility for everything that you've done. Like, if you make a mistake, people will be like, people that are not healed or they're not in the awakening, when they argue with somebody, they're like, oh, you're wrong, it's all your fault. People who are in this shift, they'll be like, you're right, I did fuck up, I'm sorry, my bad. You know what I'm saying? You're making a new lifestyle decision. It's in alignment with moral and spiritual values. Like, you're starting to become more moralistic. Like, you're very concerned and cautious about what you're doing. You're realizing your interconnected nature with all things. Like, when you start to think of things, when you start to open your eyes a little bit, you start to see things differently. Like, the sun looks brighter, the clouds look whiter, the grass is greener. Like, it's just weird little, like, you know, those corny things you see in the movies where the girl, somebody will walk out and be like, my gosh, the sun is beaming, and they're all happy. And that's not, like, if you're really feeling this, it's because you're really starting to see things for the beauty they are instead of seeing everything for the negative they are. Now, signs that you're a light worker, and then I'm going to let everybody chime in. Signs that you're a light worker. Okay, so light workers are mostly healers. So we end up dealing with people who are broken, people who have problems. We'll be in relationships with like fuck boys and fuck girls all the time. We'll realize that we always trying to help somebody in a relationship. We always trying to help these people. Like, we end up with people that are broken. Like everything's like we're always helping them, like let's say financially, emotionally, even if it's like something like stupid, like she just told me the other day, somebody has bad credit and they're like, can you help me fix my credit? Oh, I haven't eaten in 3 days, can you cook for me? These are signs that somebody is just like they're dependent on you, right? Because light workers are people that heal people and they help a lot of people, right? Okay, they trust in spiritual practices, meaning we're all raised like Muslim, Christian, Catholic. We're all raised these things. Now, I'm going to tell you, why does every medium, every psychic, every person that does tarot, why don't they think that what they're doing is evil and everybody in religion does? Because they're hiding that secret from us to not let us enlighten ourselves in advance. Because if they keep us down, then what happens is there's a pecking order. So the elite can be in control and we're all like ignorant and we're like, we think that money's evil. None of that is evil. The only thing that's evil is the person behind the thing. So if I have a lot of money and I'm evil, that money will be evil with me. If I have a lot of money and I'm helping people, I'm building houses, I'm making community centers, then the person and the money is not evil any longer, okay? Light workers are natural manifestors. Everything you want, and now, mind you, you can manifest negative things and positive things. So if you see yourself manifesting, you realize, holy shit, I'm stupid, I suck, I always meet ugly guys, I always meet stupid guys, I always meet bad girls, and then you end up doing these things. You are unawareingly manifesting these things into your life. So what you need to do is be very aware of your thoughts. I know that's easier said than done. However, the first step to becoming a being of self, forget about what everybody else wants. You don't have to follow nobody else's ways. It's what you're feeling inside. And I always take this quote because I love it. The kingdom of God is within you. And because what that's telling us is that all of the answers, all the answers you seek are within you. These are real things. I know they're stupid cliches for a lot of people, but they're real things. Actually, we all have a power. We all have a gift. We all have a knowing. We all have the opportunity to make this world a better place. So light workers don't have to work on a big, big, big scale. Like you can work on a little scale. Like you could be a light worker right now. You can be a healer right now. A healer doesn't have to mean, look at me, look at my oil and boil, toil of trouble, like whatever. I'm not sitting there like that. What it is I'm slowly, little by little, helping people around me. So let's say Mimi, she works in a hospital. She might talk to an old lady and be like, how are you feeling today? Okay, great. And the old lady starts to smile. That's healing. That's light working. And people who are light workers and healers and empaths, we tend to go towards jobs that are caring for people, nurturing. We don't, like when we get in an office job, we feel dead inside. Why? Because we know that we could be doing more for this world besides making some asshole money. You know what I'm saying? So this is the side. That's how I had my spiritual awakening, okay? I knew because I was working in offices, I went on TV, all that stuff, and none of it was satisfying me. I mean, all the money, all the clothes, all the guys, the girls, the partying, all of it, no matter how much I did, thinking I had fun. However, it never satisfied me in my heart. Ever, no matter how much I did, it didn't. And no matter what you do, you seek this, you go to the club, you buy your clothes, they make you feel good for like 5 minutes, right? You smoke weed, whatever it is, they make you feel good for a little bit and it's done. Like after that, it's not enough. So when you start to feel this way and you start asking yourself the question, like, what is life about? What do I really want? These are signs that you want more than just what everybody else is seeing. And when you see the shift right now, it's happening, the great awakening, they're calling it. And I know that's true, and it's very true because it's happening to me right now. And let me tell you something. It took till now for me to do this, to go through this where I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a step forward and let people know, yeah, I've done this, I've seen that. If they want to think I'm crazy, that's okay. At the end of the day, I know the truth because it's inside of my heart and my mind. And I fought, I battled. Listen, I had conversations with demons. I mean, listen, I've had conversations with good guys, bad guys, whatever you want to call them, all types of energy. I'll be in my room. I'll see them all over my room. When I say see, I see like things just flying by me. They're all over us. Energy, spirits, whatever you want to call them, they're all over us. If you ever notice, like, your cat all of a sudden comes in your room, and that motherfucker's head just keeps going up and down. You don't know what the hell's wrong with the cat. Cats are half in, half out. They see things that from the age of they're born to the age of 8, children have a very, very, very clear sense of knowing. They know, they see things. When you were younger, if you had a imaginary friend, if you were very sensitive, if you cried a lot, if you stood in your room a lot, all of these things happen to you. That's because you had that gift. But see, what happens is the angels, or whatever you want to call them, I call them light beings, light people, whatever you want to call them, they see if a child is being bothered too much by it, and it's very, very hard for them. Like when I was younger, I used to see things in the other rooms. I used to tell my sister, look, he's standing there with the buttons on his shirt. But they saw that it wasn't bothering me, it was bothering everyone around me. So they decided to take that gift and put it on hold. They put it on hold, but what happened was, by me putting my gift on hold, because after the age of 8, you lose that sensitivity. It goes away. If you don't pay attention to it after the age of 8, it's completely gone. My daughter had it when she was little. Now she doesn't. And she still has empathic things. She cries for no reason sometimes. And I feel like when she's in my room, she'll be like, my stomach hurts. And I'm like, oh God, like she'll feel it. I know, because I feel it myself, right? So all these little things will happen to you. And then also, you know, you feel close to nature, okay? So yeah, you might not be the type of person to wear flowers on your fucking head, or white flower. You don't gotta be a certain look to be a person who's getting spiritually woke. I know that, because I'm not that bitch. You will never see me like, hi, peace on earth, everyone. Bitch, I know the real world. It's fucking crazy out here. However, I want to change the world as much as I can. Now, by changing the world, you don't have to be like, I want to change nothing. You could change your world. By changing yourself, you in turn change everyone around you. And at first, people looked at me weird. My mom's like, what are you doing? You're being weird. What are you meditating for? This is weird. Why do you have all those candles? What the fuck is this? And it was all weird, right? And then now, as my mom's sister sees me constantly doing it, and things are just like it's not like everything's perfect, because it's never going to be perfect, okay? It's a beautiful life, but it's never going to be perfect. But once you start to change your inner self, it's so funny how your outer self just shines bright. And you know what? I was skinnier before. It was thicker. It was longer. My skin was clear. I had better clothes, and I still didn't get all of the love that I'm getting today in my natural state. I mean, I had outer appearance, the eyelashes, the lipstick, the nails. I mean, you know, like, okay, all that is beautiful. I do not have a problem with women doing that, men looking nice. But let me explain something to you. Until I felt the love for myself inside of me. And yes, do I go in the mirror sometimes and go, oh my God, on my belly, I need to lose weight? Of course, we're natural. It's human. We're in a body. Our body is not in a spirit. Our spirit is in a body. So our spirit is brought down here to in something in this world. And what happens, the reason why we bug out as human beings in a body is because we got a whole fucking, our spirit that was free to fly, visit dimensions, go to the universe, all of a sudden got trapped in this fucking thing. And we got to learn how to maneuver this place. So the trick is to learn how to maneuver this place. But remember that your spirit is the one that brought you here. So you always have to pay respect to the spirit. Every single Bible, Quran, Torah, everything talks about spirit, 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 spirit. But then when you mention spirit to people, they think you're crazy. I'm so confused about that. How do you talk about it in the Bible? How do you go to church and talk about spirit, how Jesus is in the spirit and he's going to come back to life? But when somebody turns around and says, hey, guess what? I speak to spirits. I feel spirit. I'm an empath. People are like, bitch, you're crazy. Hold on. But something we got taught our whole lives, you know what the problem is? It got taught to us the wrong way. Instead of teaching us in a way where it's letting us know, listen, yes, if they would have taught us from the beginning of school, your spirit's in your body, and you would have been learning from a child. If I would have learned all the stuff it took me 10 years to learn this stuff, you guys. But the point is, the reason why I'm doing it is because I don't want it to take other people 10 years to learn. Because when I was learning this, listen, I tried to kill myself, my hand. I took drugs. I took whatever it was. I did not like being in this body. I didn't want to be like, and everybody's like, but how could you say that? You were on TV. Everybody loved you. But no, you're not understanding. I felt empty inside. I'd be out and there'd be 100 people standing next to me being like, Flo, I love you. And I'd be sitting there in my head thinking, why am I here? What is this about? What is this life about? And that's how I knew something was not right. Something was not right. This world is, something's wrong here. So when you start to think like that and people think you're crazy because you're starting to sit in the corner, you're meditating, you're outside, you're talking to God outside, you're just looking up at the sky and you're like, God, I love you, please help me. And people think you're crazy. Listen, let them think you're crazy. Like, you don't have to do anything in front of nobody. You don't need to be like, hey, look, guys, look what I'm doing. The whole point of this process is to do it with yourself. If I sat here and tell everybody every single day what I've been experiencing, I'll lay down at night and close my eyes and I see people doing things, like a guy like this last night, a lady walking up the hill with a kid, another woman skipping, then I'll see evil faces, then I'll see alien faces. And if I tell people that, they're gonna think I'm fucking shit crazy or I'm on some kind of drugs, right? But I'm not. It's because my mind and my third eye is opening up because I'm allowing it to. See, spirit doesn't contact us, you know why? Not because we can't contact them, because we're afraid of it. So when you're afraid of something, okay, when you see a dog and you're afraid and you're scared, what does that dog do right away? Put the tail under the legs and they start to run that way, or they go to attack you, right or wrong? So what happens with spirit is the same thing, and I'm learning that every single day. If you don't put your ego to the side, this is your ego. Your ego is, I am Florina Kaya. I am Flo from the Bad Girls Club. I work at this place. If you identify yourself as these things, that is your ego. So what I say is, I just am. Like, I mean, I know my name is Florina Kaya, but do I think that, like, that's my whole image? No, because Florina Kaya had issues. She had fucking problems. She did drugs. She went crazy. She went to jail. She did a lot of things. So I don't identify myself as that, because what defines you is not who you were born. What defines you is who you become. I always say it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. So you could be from the, listen, we grew up ghetto. We grew up in Albania where it was ghetto, and we had no food, and then we had food. Everything went back and forth. When I started not to define myself as the past, the child molestation I went through, the abuse I went through with some guys, the fucking being controlled, manipulated, dragged down, beaten, stopped, everything. You can't do this, you can't do that. I fought through all of that, and yes, at one point it drove me nuts. And yes, I did do drugs, and yes, I did become a drug addict because I was taking pills left and right. Yes, I was in jail. Yes, I fought. Yes, I wilded the fuck out. But it's not where I'm from. It's where I'm at today. 2 years ago, I finally said to myself, why the fuck do I keep saying that I'm this person when I know I'm not those people? Those people were parts of me that needed to be healed because of maybe what happened to me as a kid, maybe the relationship I had with these guys. I'm just going to share a little more and then I'm going to open the discussion. And this is, everybody say whatever's free. Don't be shy. Don't be ashamed. This is to help yourselves. And we're going to help so many people through these meetings. So I always noticed myself, me, in relationships, I was always with guys that were insecure, competed with me, controlled me, and would try to take everything that I already built and take it completely away from me. So if I had a good job, or I was doing this, or I had friends, they always tried to stop me from that. Why? Because they were afraid if I had a life besides them, I would forget about them. Even women that I dated, they would try to control me and be on top of me. You can't go here, you can't do that, you can't. So looking through my phone, and I was like, how come I'm not doing that to these people? You know why? Because I was confident that I was like, all right, so yeah, at that time I was cocky, but today it's different. And this is where we're going to talk about healthy relationships. And I want you guys to tell me everything about the things that you're experiencing, because these could be karmic cycles that we're in. We're learning from these lessons. So finding yourself with the same type of person all the time, finding yourself being with the same type of like personality, but saying to yourself, I always attract crazy people. I always attract crazy guys. That shit got to end today. You have to swear to yourself, not to me, to yourself, that when you get off this phone, you will no longer say, I attract crazy people. It's not my fault that I attract. No. Stop saying that. What you say is, I must be a healer because broken people come towards me. You change the way you speak, because what you say about yourself, I swear to you, I know it sounds like goofy and crazy, but the universe hears everything you're saying, and they literally go along with what you feel about yourself. That's why they say you are the creator of your own destiny. You're the creator of your own world. The way we speak to ourselves is the way that the universe perceives us, and then we get labeled as that. When you see people that become spiritual leaders, why do they have 1 million people following them? Because they're special? No, it's because they believed that they were special. They believed it because we're all special. Like, I mean, it's fucked up to say, but you got people like Marilyn, what's his name? The guy who, Manson, to do all that stuff. Jim Jones got all those people to do all that stuff. And it started off good, but it went off bad. But the point is, anybody who wants to become anything they want to can become it. What you do with it, that's up to you. If you want to stay good and do good, you do that. Some people get the power, and that's the problem. We get power and we go, I'm powerful. You walk in a restaurant, everybody opens the door for you. Paparazzi's all over you. And now you start to get the ego. The ego will fuck you all up. Whether you are the boss at your job, whether you are the head family member and everybody looks to you and they look for you for financial help or emotional support. Once you see yourself as the ego, instead of seeing yourself as just a person who's free, everybody just comes to you out of love. Don't mean you have to be that nice all the time. There's always going to be those times. But at the end of the day, if you find yourself and all of these things are hitting you and you're like, wait a minute, I feel this. Something here is waking you up and going, hey, look, I know that you were different. You were special since the day you were born. Are you going to start to realize that today? I need you to start realizing that today. This is the day, not tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow to wake up and say, I deserve better. I'm beautiful. I meet men and women that love me. People fall in love with me easily. I fall in love and I have trust. People trust me. And these are the ways that you're going to expand your mind and make yourself be the person, not who you believe, who you are. Because why do you think we were all put here on earth, incarnated into the earth? I don't think we would have been wasted. Even, I'm sorry, the most poorest, hungriest child in the world came here for a lesson. The point is to learn that lesson. Are you going to remain in that mentality of I suck, I'm stupid, I don't deserve it, boys don't love me, girls don't love me? Or are you going to start today and say, you know what? I know what's going on here. I'm supposed to be learning this lesson. Duh, no wonder why this happened to me 100 times. The universe will, the universe, just like I say, the universe will bring you back your ex to see just how stupid you are. So like when you're healing and you're doing well, let's say right now I'm healing, I'm doing well, and the one person that woke me up to healing and doing well was the guy who cheated on me and fucked my whole shit up. Was like, we were supposed to get engaged, met the family, it was bad. And then boom, and after that I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Oh shit, I get it. I cried for months. Poor me, I always meet bad guys, I suck, my life sucks. But then I woke up and said, whoa, Flo, stop. Do you realize that every guy you're meeting is doing the same thing? It's a pattern. Are you going to learn this lesson? Maybe in my past life, I was a matchmaker who matched a whole bunch of fucked up people together and didn't care, laughed about it, made money, and walked away. Maybe that's why I'm paying my karmic debts. Whatever the reasons are. The point is you have to learn from your own mistakes right now, okay? I'm going to open the discussion. I want you guys to share freely and, from there, go ahead. Open the mics, Sadie.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. What's up?
All right, so anybody to say anything or like feels like they're connected, just, say,
ahead.
I want to say
I ain't
something.
got nothing to say.
I got
I ain't
something.
got nothing to say for real, but everybody else can talk.
I got something to say.
All right. Hello.
Okay.
Hey, who's talking?
I got something to say.
All right.
Go ahead.
My ex, my previous relationship that just ended. Did you hear me, Flo?
Yeah, who's screaming like that?
Get your child, for real.
That's a little baby. I mean, I'm not mad at the baby, obviously, but like, if you can just
Can they mute everybody else?
The thing is, what's your name?
Okay, yeah, whoever's talking, just put them on and mute everybody else.
I'm talking. It's
What's your name,
me.
sweetie?
Linda.
Linda. So I don't know your name on the side because it says iPhone, and there's 5 people that say iPhone.
Okay.
So it doesn't say
Change the name. You gotta change your name when you walk. You can get in the chat. You might have to leave and come back in.
How am I going?
Hold on. Is that you, Linda?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Got it.
Alright, okay. So this is gonna be about my relationship that just ended recently.
And
so
Flo,
like,
okay,
muted too, Flo.
Okay. So
go ahead.
So like last year, actually like almost 2 years ago, I lived in Brooklyn and I realized, okay, I'm gonna move to Jersey, and I was in a relationship that lasted 11 months. So then I was with this girl and I was like, all right, I'm moving to Jersey, so and she was like, okay. She's like, why don't we try long distance, just a little bit? Brooklyn and Jersey's not that far. We're like, I bet. So when I first came here, it was depressing as hell, mad depressing, and she noticed that. And then on my first day, I started making friends, and then I started posting my friends, having a good time, not really talking to her that much. So I'm guessing she got mad at that, really mad. So then she FaceTimed me one day and was like, your legs kind of look fat, I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, my legs? So she started pointing out little stuff about me, saying my stomach is too big. Meanwhile, I was 102 pounds last year, 15-year-old girl, 102 pounds. And then she was like, your legs are too fat. And then she was like, I really think that you should start starving yourself. Then she kind of brainwashed me into thinking that I was fat. So I really did think I was getting fat. So that's what I was doing. I started starving myself. And she was like, it's not enough. Look at your face.
So
look at your double chin, this, that. Huh?
So I'm going to respond. Sadie.
Okay.
Sadie.
Yeah, hey.
Sadie.
Can you hear me?
You unmuted me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Tell you something about that. Okay. So one of my exes, okay? Can you hear me? Linda?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you something about one of my exes, what he did to me. Okay. So this is the same form of what you call brain control, mind control. It's like a type of thing where people will try to make you feel less of yourself.
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
So, yes. Okay. So what this would happen with my ex, I'm not going to say who went where, why, but this would happen. He started taking pills, right? He was taking them every single day and I wasn't. And then he started giving them to me every day. And guess what? I became just like him. So therefore I was stuck with him then, right? So I was insecure. I was fucked up. I didn't know what I was doing. So people use different ways. I put that example out because that is one of the more serious examples. But this is what people will do in relationships. If you find a person and they're like, when you go outside and like I would stretch, let's say I would do something like this outside. I was like, you'd be like, why are you stretching like that? So everybody can see you fucking hoe. Do you understand these people? These are people that are narcissistic, very insecure. And you know what it is? She was probably so crazy for you, looking at you like, yo, she's bad. She's not. These are ways that you're going to find, like when you're in a relationship, make sure whoever's in here, if you're in a relationship and first thing this person starts to do is put you down, starts to control you, starts checking your phone, starts telling you, first of all, the number one sign is when people start telling you, I don't like your friends. Oh, I don't like none of these people. This is signs like, wait, hold up. So this person already starting to tell me they don't like my friends. They'll try to keep you away from their family. People start like that. It's the little things, right? They tell you, your sister's a bitch. Don't go near her again. She makes you mad. Then you start to look at your sister like, my sister's a bitch. My sister's a bitch. Like people will put these things into your head. You got to be very aware of that right away in a relationship. If somebody's not bringing you up, they're gone, done, bye. I always say that. Today, if somebody, let's say I'm single, okay, guys, everybody in here, I'm sure you know, I'm celibate. It's been a year. I haven't had sex. I haven't dated, nothing, right? Now, the reason why that's important for someone like me is because I use sex as a tool to I would think if I didn't have sex with someone that they wouldn't like me. They wouldn't be with me. I would really think that, like on some G shit. So, but then I realized being by myself now, when somebody texts me now, if a guy texts me now and he's like, what's up, Ma? You want to chill? Like, let me pick you up. Like, I right away, I block them. You understand what I'm saying? Because I see they're not coming at me respectfully. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And like, if you're texting someone and you're like, how you doing? And they don't text you back for 2-3 hours later. This person immediately, listen, red flags all over. As soon as you see, if something, I'm going to just tell you right now, if something don't feel right and your intuition is saying that don't feel right, Please don't ignore your intuition. That is not just you speaking. That's your angels, your guides, your inner self, your higher self, your upper self, the universe. Everybody's trying to show you, boom, 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 boom. This person's no good. Walk away. So right away, as soon as you see that, do yourself a favor. Bye. See you later. I don't care how much you like the person, bro. Just let them go. Let them go. Even if it hurts you, that it'll hurt you for 5-6 days. You'll get over it. I swear to God. The longer you wait, the more pain you're causing yourself, period.
Yeah.
As soon as you see someone put you down one time in a relationship, as soon as a friendships too. You ever had a friend, you go out, you look all nice and shit, and then they're like, I don't like that shirt. I don't like the way that shirt looks. That don't look cute. But meanwhile, you just left the mirror saying, damn, I feel so beautiful. And then they told you you didn't look good. That's because they looked at you and they said, she looks too good. I don't want to go out with her.
Yeah.
You got to... These are signs immediately. You have to point them out from the beginning. There's nothing wrong with us. Hurt people. Do you understand that term?
Yeah.
Hurt people. So if they're not fully healed, they're not confident, they're going to bring you down. They're going to make you feel like shit. Period. There's nothing more, nothing less to say about that. So from now on, you meet a girl, she don't talk to you with respect. She's not like, babe, you look good. You're the shit. If she's not bigging you up and helping you become a better person, she got to go. Period.
Yeah.
So that's the response to that. You can't go against your intuition. If it feels wrong, just please, guys, listen to yourself. Yo, man, we're so much smarter than we know we are. As the powers we have, I know for a fact everybody in here has met somebody. I'm just gonna tell you one more thing, and I'm open discussion again. One thing I'm gonna tell you that's so important to know. Okay, so the Buddha says, everyone thinks that when you meet someone and you're in love, that you get butterflies in your stomach, you get nervous, you don't know what to do. Actually, it's the complete opposite. When you meet the person, you know that person's for you, you will feel so peaceful. Your whole body will calm down. It's like your soul will say, oh, I know you. I knew you in a past life, you know? Remember, soulmate comes in many different forms. There's soulmates that you meet, you feel like you knew them forever, but that person might be a soulmate that just came in to teach you a lesson. If the soulmate is meant for you and this person's going to be with you forever, you'll know. As soon as you see them, you'll be like, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. Friend, lover, everything.
Yeah.
So don't never feel like I got butterflies in my belly. I really like this person. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's your intuition saying, nope, don't do it. You feel like you got to take a shit. Your stomach start hurting. Shit. That person is not for you. That's your intuition warning you of this person. You need to run and run for the fucking hills. I don't care. All right. So I'm gonna open the discussion to someone else on that. I love you. Just stay on, okay?
Okay.
Stay on. Love you. Open the discussion.
I ain't got shit to say.
I always willing to.
I mean, I can say something quick if it's okay.
Yeah, me too.
Anybody who wants can say it. Sadie.
Yeah, it's Marisol. Yeah, Mimi.
Who wants to go first? You want to start with Felicia?
Who damn dog is that? Need shut the fuck up.
We'll start with Felicia. 1 second. Let me just mute everyone and put you on. All right, Felicia.
Have the classic empath narcissist kind of relationship, and it's just been recent that I've noticed, like, I've always been an empath, but now I feel maybe like knowing, and I guess clairsentient, I feel it in my heart, feel it.
Yeah, so clairsentient, yeah.
I don't know how to use it. It comes and goes. Sometimes I'll just know, like I work with kids, and sometimes I'll just know, and that's kind of what makes the relationship better, makes it go from there. But I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, because you could feel them, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to kind of break out of that cycle, and I guess it was a self-value or self-worth thing where I just kind of keep falling into that trap.
Right, okay. All right, so obviously empaths, you have a lot of empathy. Closeness and intimacy can overwhelm you. You have good intuition. You take comfort in nature and people. You don't do well in crowded places. You have a hard time not caring. People tend to tell you their problems. Children and animals are drawn to you easily. Okay, those are empathic signs, just little ones right there. Okay, so the way I started to do it, because I'm going to tell you, I was taking Adderall, all this stuff, because I was told I was ADHD, bipolar, this, that, all these things were told to me because I didn't know what was going on, just like with you. Now, once I realized what was going on, I started to do the research and I started to talk to people who were going through it and started going to these meetings where girls were saying the same thing and, realized what was going on. I realized I could not control any of it, nor could I find my self-worth, my self-value until I took, first of all, time for self-care, number one. Number two, I meditate a lot, okay? You know why? Meditation will bring you closer to your higher self, and it will let you know things that you are unaware of in your daily life. So when you can meditate, is the best thing for you as an empath, because people with empathy get anxiety a lot. They tend to feel other people's pain. They cry for no reason. They're just, they sense everything around them. Clairsentient, especially if they're so empaths can not only just feel the people that are here in the physical world, they feel the spiritual things around them too, which is what happens to me. I'll be in my room. My room is very active, especially at night. I'll be in my room and it'll be just me, and out of nowhere my stomach will start feeling funny. I don't feel right. I know it's not me, it's the spirits around me. So what I'll do is I immediately will turn the lights off, light a couple of candles, sit on the floor. Listen, this is the point of this. It's uncomfortable. It feels weird at first. When I first started meditating, I couldn't shut. I was like, this is so stupid. I would get up and walk around like, this fucking stupid. I would throw things. Who the fuck does this? Only morons do this. And I would really do all this and say all this, right? And then I started to try it more and more and more and more. It's like, let's say like, I know, but I'm weird. I'm just gonna say, like, when you have sex for the first time, it hurts. When you keep doing it, it feels better. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like the same thing with meditating. Like, at first it's gonna be uncomfortable. You're not gonna like it. The positions will feel funny. Your back. But then once you start to do it, light up a candle, sit for 15 to 20 minutes a day if you can. Now, what happens in the first 5 times of meditating, your brain goes all over the place because it doesn't know what to do. But then after the 7th day, I feel like after 7 minutes, 7 days, 7 nights, if you try doing that, I would do 7 in the morning, 7 at night. And then your brain just starts to learn what to do, and your body goes along with it, because your body ultimately does what your brain is telling it to do. So if you could sit down, put the most peaceful, calming, relaxing music you can find, something that will keep your brain busy from thinking, and you sit down at peace. Do this 2 times a day if you have to. Find some quiet time, go outside, wherever is comfortable for you. Start to do that and breathe, you do that a lot, and then what'll happen is your brain will start saying things inside of your brain. This is clairsentient. So you have psychic empaths. So you might be a psychic empath. That's somebody who has the gift of knowing, right? But what happens is when you quiet your mind down, you'll get these thoughts and you'll think it's you thinking that, but it's actually your psychic side talking to you. So it'll be you'll get, like me, when I do tarot card readings, for example, I'll do it and then I'll be doing it and people are like, how do you know? How are you so accurate? I just go with whatever I'm feeling, because my brain will say something and it's not me talking to myself. I'll think of a word. I'll be like indecisive. And then I'll say that in the beginning of the reading and somebody will be like, I am indecisive. Oh my God, this is crazy. And it's because my angels, my inner self, my higher self is talking to me. And all I'm doing is quieting my brain down and allowing it to speak to me. So if you could do that, try to start with the meditation, because empaths always say meditation is so vital to their health, their well-being, especially because you work with kids. It's got to be stressful, right?
Yeah.
So you got to try to quiet the mind down. And I always say, look, spiritual baths, these things are very important for you as a human being, because look, I know we're busy. My house is full of people. Let me tell you, this is 7 people in here, but I always close the door and lock it. And look, if you got to be a bitch for a second, look, I'm taking a fucking bath, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, just do it. Close the door, lock it, light some candles, get in the bath, use your favorite oils, whatever you like the most. You know what I'm saying? I like to have my favorite soaps, my favorite smells in the bathroom, lavender, whatever it is. I'll put the music on in the bathroom with my headphones, lay in the bath, I swear to you, with the candles. And while I'm in there, I'm thinking to myself, this water is going to cleanse me. It's going to cleanse me. It's going to help me see clearly. When I get out of this bath, I will be a brand new person. And then I get out and I feel like something has lifted off of me. I go in my room. I sit down for a minute with my towel on. It sounds crazy, but I'll stare out the window and just be like, we like calming the mind, because empathic people's minds, our minds are crazy. We don't stop thinking. We're blah, 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 all day long. It's nonstop. Writing down what you're thinking is good, because that's called like psychic writing. So when you write stuff down, sometimes you don't realize, where's this stuff coming from? It's your inner being trying to speak to you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you write stuff down later on, go back and read it, because I'll read some of my stuff. I'll be like, damn, I wrote this. But yeah, that you wrote that because your inner you is telling you something. So those are very vital ways. Meditation, writing stuff down, taking 20 minutes a day to yourself, at least 20 minutes a day. No matter how busy your day is, try to always focus on you for at least 20 minutes. Self-care is very important to empathic people. And don't deny your abilities. Don't deny it. Don't say, I'm crazy. This can't be real. When you feel that shit, ask yourself, what do you say in your mind? You're actually, spirits connect with us through thoughts. Angels connect with us through thoughts. So just so you guys know, that's why I always hear mediums say, I see, I hear, I feel, right? So they connect with us through feelings, through thoughts, through numbers, through colors, through animals. They'll show us signs, right? That's why people are like, read the signs, read the signs. Just listen to what they're trying to tell you. Maybe they're pushing you on a path, because you work with kids. That's a form of healing. That's a form of healing. If you don't know that, that's, like I said, healers, empaths, we tend to go to our jobs like teachers, nurses, stuff like that. So like, I'm looking out my window, there's a hawk there. Like, look up the spiritual meaning to a hawk. Why did I just look up and all of a sudden I see a hawk? Don't ignore these things. This is spirit's way of talking to you. Maybe they're showing you that you came into this lifetime to learn something about yourself. So the point is not to like kill yourself figuring it out. The point is to take your time figuring it out. Enjoy the process. It's a journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I've been having that problem though with the meditating. Just my mind all over the place, can't get into it, because I've been trying.
Right, and
to be able to get it.
And that's what's going to happen. telling you, I would say, I'm going to tell you about 2 months it took for me to really start to see a difference when I meditate. For the first 2 months, you're talking to somebody here who's crazy. Like, I would think the stupidest shit in my head. Like, I'd be like, oh man, this is stupid. When is it going to be over? When is it going to be over? Like, I would literally think that the whole time, and I did it again and again. Every day, you have to do it once a day at least. It's like prayer. Like they say, the more you pray, the closer you become to God, right? It's the same thing with meditating. The more you meditate, the closer you become to yourself. And the whole point of becoming close to yourself is you actually are becoming closer to God, because God is you. You are God. Like, God is with you, and your inner God is trying to call to you to like take the time, be peaceful, and think of yourself too. You are here. You're a being. It's just gonna. It's going to awaken you. I promise you, within like a few weeks, if you don't hit this meeting, I'm talking about, I did it every day. And let me tell you something, I feel amazing. It's like every time you meditate, you learn something new. And it's, oh my God. Like, as corny as it sounds, I'll be like, oh shit, that was beautiful. Sometimes I cry when I meditate. Sometimes I'll have like these moments where I just sit and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll apologize to myself for all the pain I put myself through. I'll have to forgive people over and over again. I'll have to forgive myself. Do you understand? This is what we call shadow work in this field of what I'm talking about. Shadow work is getting to know who you really are, even the bad sides. The bad sides might come try to smack you in the face a little bit, like, yeah, but you did this. Yeah, but you're like this. That's where you pay attention to everything you're hearing. And this is the point of trying to heal. Even the bad things that you're hearing, it's okay. It's okay. Let them come in. Thank you for sharing. Push it to the side. Like an energy, like you really just pushing someone like, excuse you, you're in my field right now. Thank you. I'm trying to work over here. And you deal with the angels and they'll talk to you. They'll guide you. They'll be there. Just imagine angels being on your right side. Imagine, not demons. Don't imagine demons, guys. Just imagine, little fuck boys on the side talking about, that's why you did this, bitch. That's why you did that. You remember that one time when you said get back in the car? You know what I'm saying? They're always going to fuck with your mentality. So your point is to like block those people out and focus on the good, okay? So that's what you gotta do. Keep going at it. Keep going at it every day.
Okay.
All right, honey. You're welcome.
Next, Jasmine wants to talk. So we're going to unmute Jasmine.
Okay, Jasmine.
Alicia, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sadie.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, can you
All
guys
right, Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I've had like a lot of spiritual stuff happen to me and I really do not know what it means. So
basically when my grandma passed away, she passed away when I was in 5th grade from breast cancer.
Okay.
And literally the night that she died, I had a dream about her, and she was like wearing all white, and she was in the corner, and she was telling me, giving me a message saying, you know, be good for your dad, be there for your brother, like basically telling me all this stuff. Then
Wow.
every night
That's
after
amazing.
that, for years, I would wake up around like 2:30 in the morning, and I told my aunt that, and my aunt was like, when Abuela died, that's when she died. She died at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I keep having these dreams with her in them. She'll talk to me in these dreams. I keep feeling like I have a connection with her. And like now I'm still, like she passed away, what, like 5 years ago? And I'm still waking up at 2 o'clock. Like it's never stopped. It's always constant.
Okay.
I always have these dreams, and it just doesn't stop. I don't know what it means.
Okay. What is, I would start off by this. Okay. So my grandmother came into my dreams at a time in my life when I was going through the hardest thing. This was when me and my ex-husband went through custody battle with the kid, and it was a lot of things going on. Now, what I want to say to you is, what is it that you feel in your life that's going on right now that you think your grandmother is so desperately trying to guide you with? Because she's obviously become one of your spirit guides, your guardian angels, right? Because they do that. Immediately after they pass, they become your guardian angel, like my grandmother's mine. You know, everybody gets assigned a person, or they assign themselves to a person. Doesn't mean you're the only one. She could be guiding other people too. First of all, I'm just going to tell you, 2:30 a.m., she passed away at that time, but also 2:30, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. till 5 a.m. That's what we call dead time, but it's not like in a scary way. It's like that's when spirit, for some reason, is the most active, which is why I like to get up at 3:40 a.m. and meditate a lot during that time. I do readings at that time because a lot of activity goes on at that time for some reason. So what is going on in your life right now that you feel that your grandmother could be possibly trying to connect with you with to let you know? Because when you're having these dreams, do you feel like she's showing you something about your life, like what's going on right now? Do you have a dream journal? No, let me say it like this. First things first, I want you to take a book and a pen and paper. Keep it next to your bed. When you wake up at this time, remember the last thing that you just saw in your dream. You don't have to remember the whole dream. I saw water, right? Just write down water, car, color, red, like it. These little things you see in a dream, and I'll interpret them for you, but you could just write these things down, all of these little things. Also, as soon as you wake up, what are the first, you got to write these down. What are the first thoughts you're having when you wake up? Like you wake up, you know, you have a thought right away. That's her communicating with you, believe it or not. Okay. So did you know that when you're sleeping, that your body and your mind is so vulnerable and in a beautiful way? You could look at it as a positive, beautiful way, that is the time when you're in REM state, your body's the most vulnerable, and that is the time where it's the easiest for spirit to connect with us. Now, your grandmother's using that time as an opportunity to come tell you a message. So is there anything going on in your life at this present moment that you feel she could possibly be trying to tell you about?
Well, okay, so like for the past like year now, so now it's been about a whole year, like it's coming up to a year. I started struggling a lot with depression, and that's never happened to me before. And it was really bad to the point where like I was in the hospital, and I had like cuts all over my body, and I tried to kill myself, and my dad was the one that found me. Right. And so I feel like in a way, like she was trying to tell me that it's not my time to give up.
That's right.
And it was like, I don't know, it's like I lost a lot of friends. Like I just felt like I wasn't who I had always been. I've always been someone that had a lot of friends. I never had any mental issues, never struggled. But ever since then, like now I'm on medication for depression, and I'm just really, really struggling. And that was like the first time that anything like that has ever happened before.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that was very brave of you to share that, because I've been through the same thing. I know how hard it is to talk about it, but talking about it is the first step to healing it, right? So that's why you don't see me reacting like, oh, you poor thing. You know why? Because no, it's not. You've been through something, and maybe your grandma is trying to show you something, because this is what I'm going to try to tell you. When I was going through the same thing, the depression and this, and I was in the hospital, mental hospital, like 7 times. I'm not going to lie. You know, like I didn't know what was going on with me. So now, spiritually speaking, I'm not going to tell you ever stop taking your medication on that, because that's actually what helped me get on track too, is taking my medication on like the right way, and then finally realizing that I needed more than medication. And I started to, like I said, I know it sounds stupid, but like, have you ever tried to meditate ever?
No.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're talking to someone here who was diagnosed with postpartum depression, multiple personality, I'm just going to tell you my diagnosis so you understand how real this is. Multiple personality disorder, ADHD, bipolar type 1 and 2, bipolar depression, hyperactive disorder, and anxiety, and all that. I was like 6 or 7 diagnoses I had. No joke. I'm not even kidding. I was like, bitch, I'm about to start collecting disability, like, cause I'm crazy, on paper, right? So like, what I'm gonna tell you right now is all those things were going on for me because I was ignoring the fact that I was tuning into different dimensions, and maybe you're going through that, like we just spoke, the spiritual awakening thing, okay? So when you get around people, if you're feeling like uncomfortable in situations, but you're like, things are going to happen, like when your grandmother's passing away, like, I know it sounds stupid, but you should try to meditate, because I'm believing. How old are you? You sound young.
15.
All right, exactly. I believe that this, because right now especially right now is a time when the earth is shifting. It's making it easier for everyone to connect. I truly do believe that there's a gift inside of you that you're ignoring. So it's kind of driving you crazy a little bit, right? And also, when you are sensitive to the other side, you have bad spirits that connect to you when you're depressed. They love to feed off of your energy. So if you are depressed, you're sad, or you're angry, those types of people that passed away will latch onto you and feed off of your energy. And then in turn, they'll make you more depressed. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense, because once I started to ignore that side, because when I tell you, I would out of nowhere just be somewhere and I'd get down and I'd hate everyone. I'd look around and everybody was annoying. And I hated myself. I wanted to die. And like all these things would come in my head. And then when I started to see things in the spiritual aspect, I was like, oh, I'm feeding energy to these energy vampires, whether they be human or spirit form. There are energy vampires all around us. The kind of energy you're giving off is the kind of energy you're going to attract towards yourself. So you have to be fully aware of your thoughts. So like everybody's like, oh, Flo, but what about when you're depressed? Like, how do you just get out of it? Okay, so I know, because I was fully depressed. I couldn't get out of bed, girl. Like I wasn't taking showers for 4 to 5 days sometimes. That's how depressed I was. So that's when I started to say, what am I doing that's not making me happy? The job I had, I didn't like it. I quit. I didn't like my friends. I stopped talking to them. I started to eliminate things that I knew were not making me happy. And at first that made me sad, because I was losing people, this and that. First of all, if your friends ain't going to be there for you at your worst, they do not deserve to be there for you at your best, period. Yeah. So if you're depressed and you're not feeling right and your friends are not around to cheer you up and make you feel better, then they're not your friends. You understand? Yeah. So this is where you're going to say to yourself, it's okay that I lost people. It's okay, because maybe spirit and your grandmother and your spirit guides were trying to get you rid of every single person around you and everything around you so that you can focus on yourself. Your grandmother's probably trying to show you, honey, you have some kind of gift inside you. You need to awaken your mind to it, because it's going to drive you crazy forever. Listen to me when I tell you forever. It took me till the age of 32 to figure this shit out. I was 18 when it started happening. Don't let it take you that long. What you want to start doing, if you guys who don't meditate, I understand, listen, but what I will tell you something is, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, we could do this. The next time there's a Zoom meeting, I don't care if it's creepy, weird, and we'll do it at nighttime, on a night when you guys don't have to wake up early the next day. We'll shut all the lights, everyone will sit together, we'll light a candle each, and we'll sit down, we'll play meditation music, and I'll guide you guys through the meditation. I'll talk, and everybody can do the meditation with me, so you don't feel weird, because when you have other people there, it's not like awkward. I'm by myself. My thoughts are weird. I'm going to speak through the meditation, and we're going to get guided to it. And I'll start off like that. We could do this 2-3 times a week. I don't care. If it's going to help you, we will do it. And then after that, once you get good at it, it's like riding a bike. When somebody helps you the first 3 times, you'll just want to ride the bike yourself. You won't use your hands. You'll feel free. I want you to try to meditate, because what you're going through, is literally you're giving so much power to these negative entities around you, these negative energies. They're taking control of you and they're taking full advantage of you. And I want you to stop giving them that access, because that's what your grandmother's trying to tell you. Tonight, I want you to sleep with a journal and a piece of paper next to your bed. When you wake up, at that time, I want you to write down the first couple of thoughts that go into your head and see if you can remember the dreams that you have. And ask your grandma, Grandma, what are you trying to tell me? Please be clear. Because she's not talking to you because she thinks you're afraid. So what you need to do is get up and say, I'm not afraid, just tell me what I need to do.
Right.
So if you do that, you start tonight. Try it out. It might not work tonight. Try it again the next night. Then, because it takes spirit longer to connect with us than it does for us to connect with them. They have to make sure it happens in the background. It's hard. So I want you to get up. Grandma, what are you trying to tell me? And then close your mind and close your eyes. And what is the first thought you have? And that's your answer. That's your intuition talking back to you.
Okay.
So can you try that for me tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Okay, and also try that because you want to know what your grandma's telling you. I believe she's trying to guide you, honey. There's nothing wrong with you. You just have a gift and you need to open up your eyes to it. And then we're going to start the meditation thing this week. When I say meditation time, everybody come into the Zoom meeting and we'll start the meditation, okay? We'll keep doing this. And if you can't wait until then, I want you to go on YouTube. Whether you want to do my guided meditation or anybody else, you could just type in guided meditation and sit down with yourself for about 15 minutes a day if you can for the next couple of days and just try it out and see what happens, because depression is nothing but negative thoughts. That's all it is. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
So try that with your grandma tonight, though, because I want to see what she's trying to tell you.
All right, yeah, I will.
All right, hon, I love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
All right, Misha's next. Misha,
welcome,
raise your hand because it says iPhone. All right, Misha, I got you.
Okay, Misha.
All right. All right, you're unmuted.
Oof. Hi, Flo.
Hi, hon.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Honestly, I'm not doing so good. I have a lot on my mind.
Okay, talk to me.
As you know, I'm a breast cancer survivor. And I deal with thank you. I deal with a lot of
we gotta say yay to that, girl. We gotta say to that yay, because that's why I'm sorry, but that's why I tell people today, I'm like, coronavirus, bitch, people survive cancer. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm emotional, so forgive me if I break down, okay? Okay, so I've been dealing with a lot of I don't know if it's my spirit trying to get awakened by everything that's going on, but it's been to a point where I was told when I was going through breast cancer that I had to have a hysterectomy in order to prevent ovarian cancer. So I can't have any more kids. My daughter, she's 4 and she's autistic. As you know, I went through a domestic violence relationship with my BD, a bunch of court situations. And on top of that, my mom is an alcoholic. So anytime I try to talk to her about anything, it's always it seems like she's not listening. Then I find out that she's talking a bunch of mess about me. And then I get to a point sometimes where, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do get suicidal because of the thoughts that go through my head on a daily basis. With my daughter being autistic, it's hard because I have to do a lot to keep her up with her school. And my mom, she helps, but she doesn't really help like that, And not only that, I'm afraid of the cancer coming back because I'm cancer free, but I carried the cancer gene. So therefore, within a year, I lost the breast, the hair, the nerve damage in the hands and the feet and muscles and all kinds of stuff. I had to go through an emergency surgery, almost died. And not only that, it's just been a lot of people just keep on coming to me with their problems.
Okay. All right. So.
Sorry. And I feel broken in the inside. I feel by myself.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so this happens to you a lot with people coming to you with their problems?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's acknowledge the fact that you go through all that and you do all that and you're still standing and you're still standing strong. That's an incredible feat. I don't know anybody out there who could do all that with everything that's going on with your life and still stand strong and still be there, because a lot of people would have been like giving up at this point. So for that, I congratulate you, number one. This is like another thing we got to learn to do with each other. That's why it's always beautiful to congratulate yourself. You have to wake up every morning and pat yourself on the back for even being strong enough to get through that, because that's incredible. A lot of people would not be able to. I'm telling you right now, you're still here, you're still standing. And the fact that you're talking about it is very fucking dope, yo. So let me tell you something. People keep coming to you with their problems. Now, the way I can tell you immediately, that sounds to me just like a healer type of situation, okay? So like they're seeing something within you that's vulnerable. Therefore, this is how you have to look at it. I know it's hard, and it's like when we're going through something hard and we're vulnerable, people tend to come to us more because they see your vulnerability and they know that there will be no judgments from you, right? So rarely will you ever see a person wanting to go to somebody who's got their shit together, who's perfect, because then they'll feel like when they go to them, that other person's going to look down on them. Like, oh God, get it together. Your shit's all fucked up. So they feel she's been through all this and she'll understand my pain. Therefore, I can speak to her. So what you need to do is, this is where the word boundaries in big, bold letters needs to come up in your brain, in your mind, and you need to set and create boundaries for yourself against this type of shit. When people come at you and they're talking about their problems, you can nicely, you don't have to be like, bitch, I got my own problems. Like, you don't have to say it like that. You can be like, listen, I'm going to have to tell you today, I'm trying to focus on me. If you want to call me another day, that's fine. But for now, I can't deal with your issues and your problems, okay? And see, that's where you got to create boundaries, because it happens to me every day. I could be having the worst day ever, but I'll look at my DMs, my emails, and 100 people are emailing me, texting me, and this and that. And I'm like, what they don't realize is they're not the only one at that moment. You understand? So look at it. I'm talking like I'm you right now. They don't realize at that moment that they're not the only one coming to me, right?
Right.
So these people don't know your situation until you tell them your situation. So in the beginning, I was answering everybody, doing this, doing that, running this, and driving myself crazy to the point where for 2 days I had to sleep. Otherwise, I felt like dying. So what you need to do is set fucking boundaries for yourself, for these people, because you have to focus on yourself. Believe it or not, a positive mindset will so much make you a stronger person, not just externally, but internally too. I'm just going to tell you, I used to have a blood disease where it was like really bad, to the point where I would, my blood would be so thin that if I cut myself, I would bleed so much, right? So the doctor's like, well, we're going to have to do a blood transfusion and all this shit they were telling me. So I went to like 4 different doctors. They all said the same thing. And then finally, when I started to think like this, I'm just going to tell you something. First of all, those boundaries are very important. Second of all, I want you to try to sit down in your home when you wake up in the morning. I know it's hard, but please try, and tell yourself, I will never get cancer again. I am a cancer survivor. I am not a cancer repeater. I will not have this problem again. So like when I had these blood issues, this is for like 4 years I had them, and then I was always tired and I didn't feel good. And I started to imagine my blood getting thicker. I'm not kidding. This is a real thing. This is not a joke. I'm not telling you this to sound silly or stupid. I started imagining my blood get thicker. I started imagining that my veins were getting stronger. My body was getting healthier. You know, I did little things like ate some extra good foods and all that, but not a big deal. I imagined myself getting better. Like 6 months later, I went back to the doctors. Do you know that all 4 doctors that I went back to, they told me that I don't even have it? What happened? How did you cure it? How did you cure it? What did you do? And I told one of the doctors, she was an Indian lady. I said, I told all the other doctors this. They thought I was crazy. I said, you know what I did? She goes, well, I said, I told myself I didn't have it every day for 6 months straight. And it went away. And she was like, I believe you. That's what we believe in India. People heal themselves. They go to shamans, and the shaman will do like a ritual on them. Boom, boom, boom. Here's some smoke. Here's that. Now in this person's mentality, they're cured, right? So every day they're waking up, I'm cured. I feel better. I feel better. People have healed themselves from cancer, from blood disorders, by telling themselves that they can. Unless you're completely on the verge of dying, you have the opportunity to heal yourself internally as well as externally. But one thing you can't do, you can't focus on yourself when you're trying to help everybody else. You need to create boundaries immediately. So now when people hear me 100 people a day, what I'll do is I'll write one person back. I'll be like, listen, give me a minute, or like, I'll answer you back when I can. I can't do it right this minute. You know what I mean? It's like you can come up with boundaries in a nice, healthy way. You got your own thing. Instead, you should be surrounding yourself with people who are trying to help you.
The support is
You're
very
already
minimal.
dealing with a mother. Yeah, and that's why I'm creating a support group, because sometimes it takes a complete stranger to show you who the fuck you are, and the people around you are just bringing you down. They're doing nothing but bringing up, because this is I've heard of the term, you're a product of your environment. So you're not a product of your environment. What it is that when you're around this shit all the time, your brain does what it sees every day. What do I see? So if you can expand your brain to think, I'm not in this house, I'm not trapped here. If you can expand your mind and start thinking differently and seeing the external part of your life instead of what you see internally in your home. Look, in my home, everybody's not like me. They're not spiritual. They're not even into God that much. But guess what? I will come in my room and I will trap myself in here, and I'll put myself in a whole nother world through thinking, imagining, meditating, telling myself I'm good, I'm happy. Because if I step out there and I follow their lead, I'll be yelling, fighting, blah, move, blah, blah. Everybody's mean. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
It's you gotta fight against all that shit, man. I know it's hard, everybody. I know it's hard. Like, I get it, because I've been there. It's not like I'm telling you I did this. It's not like my life was perfect and everything was peachy. And I'm telling you, I've been through it. I've been through the worst of the worst, everything, And I'm just gonna let you know, my father died of a drug overdose. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like everybody around me has always been fucked up, real fucked up.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you can just set the boundaries for yourself, that's number one. Today I want you to do this. Take a fucking pen and paper. Write down the word boundaries on top of that pen and paper, and write down things I will not accept, things I will accept. And see, like, write down all the things that bother you, and then write all the things that make you happy. Take all the things that bother you. When somebody's doing something that bothers you, you cancel that person out. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you right now. And then you go and do something that makes you feel good. I don't care if it's drinking a cup of coffee outside on the porch. Just do it.
Man, Flo, can I tell you something? Get through my days, and I know it's bad, but to get through my days, sometimes, not even like sometimes, I have to smoke like a backwood with like hella weed in it, because my mind is constantly going, and I'm constantly waking up. Like, you remember when I told you that I wake up sometimes choking in my sleep, and I wake up to find out somebody that I know has died?
Yep.
That goes hand in hand. I was molested when I was younger. I was raped when I was younger. My stepdad, between me and you, my stepdad literally made moves on me, and my mom is still with this man, and she supports everybody else but me. It's like she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But she plays that role like
no,
like
it's not that she doesn't care. It's not. Yeah. No, but you know what it is? It's like, okay, so the black sheep of the family, like, okay, so like there was all these girls in my family, and I'm gonna show you something that's gonna be a revelation to you. There was all these girls in my family. When I tell you they were so beautiful, right? They were all beautiful women. They all like had beautiful bodies, and they were matured before their age. None of them got molested but me, right? And I wasn't understanding, why did this happen to me, and why didn't it happen to any of them? You know why? Because me and you were always probably the quiet ones. We're not going to say nothing because we're so loyal to the shit. We're just like, I'm not going to say nothing about it because I don't want to ruin everybody's life, right? Then I got older and started opening my mouth. I started opening my mouth and telling people, and people were like, oh, why? Wow. Like they're, you know what it is? They're uncomfortable with it because they don't want to see the truth. And the reason why you're having those dreams that you're choking and all that, that's you suffocating yourself through your subconscious, because whatever you're going to sleep with, it carries through that dream. And these, let's say, spirits or whatever they are, they're coming into your dreams and they're fucking with your subconscious. So that's why it's very important for you to clear your mind. You know what you can do? You could smoke a blunt and then meditate. Do you know how much your mind will be expanded if you smoke that blunt and you sit outside and you like sit there with your eyes closed and you just smoke and you just quiet your mind and let your mind go crazy and wild and free, and just, start to forgive the people. Forgiveness is very important. Okay. Every spirit that I've ever connected with, they tell me if you don't forgive the people that hurt you, you will never be able to move forward. You know why spirits still stay here residually? Why so many spirits don't move on? Because they don't forgive before they die. So their spirit stays here because they have unfinished business. You understand? So you have to make sure that business is finished, or you're going to be like here in the afterlife, still miserable, still sad. So you have to start doing that. Start to think about giving people and not carrying that pain and thinking positive. I told you, if I can cure a blood illness and I can cure my depression and ADHD, all that by thinking positive, anybody can. Anybody.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
You understand me?
Yes. I love you, Flo. Thank you so much.
What's that? What did you say?
I said,
I love you too. I love you too. You know I'm always here. You can always hit me up.
okay.
That was really brave of you.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes, it was. That was beautiful. We love you.
I love you guys too.
So I just wanted to let you know, Flo, really quickly. The Zoom meetings, normally they're 40 minutes, but Zoom gave us unlimited amount of time tonight. So
okay, good.
We have Jessica next.
Okay, Jessica.
All right, Jessica, you're unmuted.
All right. Hi, Flo. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I've been listening to and relating to a lot of the things you've been saying recently about, not allowing the negative spirits or energies to overtake how we think about ourselves and stuff like that. But like recently, I've just really been feeling lost and stuck, like when it comes to like my career path and whatever it is that I was placed here to do in this world. And I did have an emotional breakdown and a mental breakdown last year, which was one of the reasons why my wife and I decided to move out of California and we moved to Nevada. It's been a very different transition here because I've been actually introduced to spirituality and introduced to crystals and all that stuff, and it's been allowing me to really understand where my depression was coming from, allowing me to build that relationship with myself, to figure out what the root of my sadness and self-hate and anger was coming from. But now I find myself in a place where I feel kind of stuck, like what's next, like what is the what is my purpose, and why do I have to always have that negative mindset of when I start a project or when I get really excited to start doing something, I instantly think I'm not going to be good enough for it, like I'm going to fail, it's not going to go how I imagine it to go, and then I just pretty much ruin it for myself.
Okay. Interesting, because I went through the same exact thing. Okay, so and because you're already in the enlightenment stage where you're already knowing that you want to change something. So okay, so every day there's always this one thing that no matter what we're doing, where we're at, what time we wake up, what's going on, we always think about one thing. So for me, it was always, before it was something else, but when I started waking up to this, every day I always woke up saying, how can I help somebody today? Or what can I do to better myself today, right? So like I started to focus on that same, what was that same thought? I don't know if you ever saw the movie Sister Act, right? But she's walking down the street. She's walking down the street with the girl. She goes like this, she goes, if you wake up every day and all you could do is think about writing, girl, you a writer, girl. And then she said, if you wake up every day, all you could do is think about singing, you're a singer. So what is the one thing, when I say the one thing that always comes into your mind that you want to do or that you feel you love doing, what is it? There has to be one thing that constantly like doesn't stop nagging. There has to be.
Well, I'm very creative, so like I really got into like sewing and I got into painting, but I kind of like find myself not really knowing what direction that's leading me to.
Okay, so now let's say, okay, so let me say something, because you're creative, you sew, you do painting. Okay, so I started doing tarot card readings, right? So like, and like, so you're wondering, how can I make money or something? Because you know what? At the end of the day, spirit will always provide you with the materialistic needs that you need, as long as you do internal work. Trust me when I tell you that. Yeah. Because I was broke for a minute too. I was trying to figure it out. I was broke. I didn't know how to make money, right? I wanted to help people, and I was helping a lot of people, but I wasn't getting paid for it. Then I started doing tarot cards. I started charging people. Now, for me, if I was a painter, I was sewing things, I would start, let's say, an online business, doing something like having like a creative art session with people. people, having people pay $12 to like watch your YouTube videos where you show them how to paint or how to sew, or which crystals to use for this, or because there's everything on YouTube. Very easy. You can go on YouTube and you can create private videos, and people will pay $12 for that video. And look, it'll start off maybe in a week you'll only make $12, but then clients will start to be like, oh, I want to learn how to do what she's doing. So if you're creative, you find yourself not only being creative, but healing yourself through this creativity. You feel what I'm saying? You could start like a creative arts healing sessions with, and then you put your name on it or something like that. So spirit will always open you up. They will help you with the material aspects and the financial part of it. But they want you first to figure out yourself and not worry about money and all that stuff. And even though we have to worry about money and all that stuff, this is where you get, not only do you get creative and you become wiser, you start to be smarter with spending money. You start to know that if you have $40, you have to be careful what you buy with it, because the more money you have, the more money you spend, right? But when you don't have a lot of money, it's so funny how much you'll learn about yourself. Like when I was broke, I learned the most about myself than I ever had when I had money. Because when you have money, you could just buy your problems away, right?
Yeah.
So here's the chance for you to get to know yourself. Sit down, take a book and a piece of, I'm telling you, books, piece of paper and pen. Listen, spirit will write for you. But if you can't think of that, just sit there, stare at the paper until something comes in your head. Like I write a lot of poetry and stuff. Stare at the paper. Today I'm going to write down what I want to do with my creativity, and just on the top of the page, I'm creative. I like being creative, right? You write that and then you just stare at the word creative. What do I like to do? Then you slowly, these things will come up to you. I like painting. I like doing this. I like doing that. I like crystals. I like that. Listen, you can start an online shop. It's easy. You could start it for free on Instagram, okay? You can go to that site that I have, bigcartel.com. Listen, ask Sadie. She did the same thing. You'll start with 1 or 2 clients, then 3 clients, then 4, then 5. Listen, it's not, slow and steady wins the race. I know everybody's got bills and I get all that, but we all found ways to survive, right? We could do it again. This time, all you got to do is keep working on yourself and just do the things that make you happy. Spirit is asking everyone right now to find what they love to do. And then as you start to do that and you really, really take it seriously and you do that, they will provide the rest for you. They'll send you clients. I'm telling you, because spirit works funny like that. They'll send me clients to tarot card readings, and I'll be sitting in my bed sleeping. I'll wake up, 4 people will have booked me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even promote anything. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Because I'm working on myself. So they're doing the rest of the shit. They're like, you just work on yourself. I'll take care of the money and this and that. Don't worry about it. You're good. It's going to be a little bit of brokenness for a little bit, but so what? Who cares? What are you going to do? Die? You're not going to die. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Figure that out. Figure that out. Go with what you know. Whatever you know, whatever comes naturally to you, do that. Don't force it. Don't force it trying to be somebody you're not, because that shit is not going to make you or anybody else in here happy. Go with what you know. Little by little, once you start working on yourself and you write these things down, you manifest what you want, and you really see a vision for yourself. This is what I want to do. Even if you have a job and you want a side business, everything you want to do comes to you with your thoughts. You start to think, like I said, if you have to stare at the paper empty, just stare at it, but keep writing. Write. And then take your ideas that you wrote, put in the footwork, because God helps those that help themselves. Remember that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to just do that. Whatever you're waking up thinking about, the first thing, just start to get creative with it. Watch how other people do stuff. That's why me and Sadie are going to have a session here where we teach people how to do their website. We're going to teach you guys how to make a website. We're going to teach you guys how to start a YouTube video. We'll teach you guys, if whatever your job is, we'll show you how you can get clients from it, and then you all got me over here. So if you start a business, I'm promoting it. So come on now, we got each other. This is the point of this. So whoever starts anything in here, we're in these Zoom meetings. You be like, Flo, can you do me a favor? I just started my business. Can you put this on your story? Can you talk about this on YouTube? I am going to do it. This is the point of the support of the community, is to help one another. When you need help, when I need help, help me. When you need help, when I have events, if I'm in this state and I'm like, yo, I'll fly you guys in, please come, I need your help. You understand what I'm saying? This is how you build friendships with people, but you guys got to stay loyal to yourselves. Forget about me. You ain't got to be loyal to me. You ain't got to be loyal to nobody. Stay loyal to yourself by staying loyal to other people. The more loyal you are to yourself, the more you become loyal to other people. Do what makes you happy. Don't even think twice about it. Just do it.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
I wanted to say really quickly,
All right, Jessica.
Really quickly, I wanted to say when I started making my lavish soaps back in October, it was like that was healing and therapeutic for me. Like I didn't do it like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna make a business. I did it because I saw it on YouTube and I was always artistic, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try that. And look, few months later, like people are loving my product. I get messages every day. Oh my God, I've never tried a soap like yours, and you know that makes me feel good.
I started finding. So you found that therapeutic, and that's what helped you heal within yourself and also express.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So next, thank you, Jessica, again.
Oh, thank you guys.
Hi, Jessica. We love you.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Next is Marisol. We'll get Marisol in here.
Marisol. Hola.
What's up, baby?
Nothing. How is everybody?
We're all good. I think everybody's good, right? Everybody give the handshake. We good.
Good. Can I just start by saying that I think this is such an amazing and genius idea to do.
Thank you.
But just listening to everyone's story, like I'm trying to think of how can I put it. I've learned in the past, I've been through a lot of shit. I'm not saying that it's better or worse than anyone else, but I've been through enough that I think I lost that spirit. I didn't know what it was. I was just like, why do I keep attracting this? I attract nonstop addicts. That's it.
Drug addicts?
Drug addicts. They're at addiction to something. It's just addiction.
Yep.
So with that, the guy that I've dated since I was 16 on and off, who was my first husband, thank God my ex now, he was an alcoholic. He manipulated, a liar, a mental, verbal, hit me once, abuse, everything. I didn't know what love was. I cannot have sex unless he wanted it. We didn't have no PDA. We never kissed. Nothing. And I thought that was normal. Mind you, 16 years old, I wasn't a size 18. I was in like 263 pounds before I finally sat myself back and said, okay, I need to change something about myself. And my weight is making me so depressed. There's nothing else that I can do. And I was bulimic after I found out later on. It was bulimia that I had, and I never knew that. So I had gastric bypass, which honestly, tomorrow is 10 years. So I'm very proud of myself. A lot of women who go, or men who've done the surgery,
that's amazing.
are like triple the size now because they rely on it. And I've learned not to rely. So going on forward with that part, my ex-husband knew me when I was fat. Okay. So he accepted me. He liked me. It was whatever. But then we got back together when I did the surgery. So later on, years go by, I started realizing that this man tested me because he put me in a spot where I felt comfortable being heavy around someone who was completely opposite. Six-pack, tattoos, thin, amazing looking. And then the next thing you know, I lose the weight. He's gaining the weight. Then the insecurity comes in, people looking at you, the way you dress, the way you act. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And that's where the mental and verbal abuse comes in. Later on, we got separated. He didn't want to divorce me until I was pregnant, and he stayed married to me for 4 years while we were separated for 4 years. He swore I was going back, and not allow that. I met my son's father, and he was complete opposite. So affectionate, so loving. Everything was what I didn't have then came into place. So I thought, okay, cool, whatever. But at that time, being separated from my ex-husband, I was going through my own depression. Pills. I took pills like crazy. Seroquel was my best friend. Xanax were my best friends. Everything was my best friend. Pot, alcohol, pills. Done. I passed out in a supermarket. Like, didn't even know.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Nothing to be ashamed of. It is what it is.
No, I'm proud that I went through all these things, and that's where I'm trying to get to, even though I'm not trying to tell a long story, but
no, keep telling. Tell it.
So after that, that's when I sat back and I looked at my son's father and I realized, wow, this guy's drinking a lot. And the way I knew was one night I woke up from a daze, and I looked, and he was sitting at the corner of my bed, staring at me, drinking in the dark, first of all. So that made me go,
that's
oh,
creepy.
crap. Yeah. And I just acted like I was just turning around. Next thing you know, a year goes down the line, and I found out he used to do coke. I was like, okay, it is what it is, you know. Thank you for opening up. I just, you're not doing it. At the time, I worked with children as well. So I was like, you cannot do those things around me because I work with children. Next thing you know, we go out, we go drinking, we go hang out. We had a great time. He started selling it, using me as a con. And I don't know why back then I couldn't accept it and just be like, this is not for me. Why am I letting this happen? And I think, again, because I didn't think anyone else would love me the way he was loving me, because I didn't know what that love was until he showed me. And now it's all like a cover up, because now look, I got pregnant by him, which was planned and everything, but he denies our child to this day. It hurts, it kills me, but it is what it is. You know, it's the hardest thing for me as a single mom working, and I get no financial help. I get not a dime. I don't get food for my kid from him. He has only seen his son 4 times, and my son is now 3. Okay.
Right.
He went 5 months apart from my son. He had another girl pregnant. Her daughter was born in April. She just celebrated her birthday. So all that, and you know, he was around for his first daughter. He has 3 kids for 3 different women. So he accepts his first mother. He was in the relationship with her, raised the kid for 12 years. Me, wasn't with me when I was pregnant, not once, never saw me with a stomach, never did a sonogram, never, nothing was there. It was just by myself and my support. That's it. Next thing you know, this girl, living with her, has a picture holding the belly, and that's all I ever wanted in my life, was my son to see the photo of his mother and his father. Love, you know, show him that that was there. That's normal, and that's what we were. We made you out of love. Never gonna get that. This woman did. So all these things, I was like, why me, why me? And I have the boy, and Hispanic, you know, I'm not saying, I don't know about any other cultures, but for Hispanics, sons are real serious with men. You know, they carry the name, they're the next man, you know?
Yeah.
He never calls, he never asks. And if he does call and ask, it's about me, nothing about my son. So moving on from there, from that, I started thinking like, okay, something's wrong. Why did I attract an alcoholic? Then I attracted another alcoholic, another drug addict. Found out my dad was the same way. I attracted what I felt was my father, and that was it. It was all failures.
Yeah.
So my son is the only guy that really helped me in sobriety wise. I couldn't get pregnant with my ex-husband. There was a reason behind that, and I didn't know. I didn't understand with my son's father. We literally just thought about it. Took 2 weeks. Boom, I was pregnant. But ironically, with my addiction, I didn't know what the babies go through until I really searched it, and it killed me. And ironically, at the time, I couldn't find a doctor out here to give me those Seroquels, those things that I always got. So I had to give it up. I cried in my car. I went to 4 doctors in one day. In one day, I went to 4 doctors. Cried, couldn't believe it. My life's over. Oh my God. And I finally realized, like, I believe in spirituality. I believe there is a God. I'm not saying that he is one person or he is one thing, but I believe spiritually that I was put to not find a doctor out here because of the fact that 2 months later.
I was going to say, that was a spirit. Yeah, that was a spirit thing that happened.
2 months later, pregnant. And I kept thinking, oh my God, can you imagine if I was literally still doing it and pregnant? My kid would be like, shaking,
and,
you know.
And you wouldn't have, and you wouldn't have stopped. Yeah, you wouldn't have stopped just because you were pregnant.
And I would have never lived with myself knowing, God forbid, putting my son in danger. So he's my savior. He is my strength. He is my everything. Like, I think about him before I think about me. So, and which naturally, I know all our mothers do that. But like I said, one time I just sat there and I just couldn't understand why I was attracting the same thing, why I was always depressed, why I was always the last one, why everyone else had babies, had marriage, had no divorces and more kids and all this happiness pictures. Me, I had everything and everyone thought it was the best life, but they didn't really know the truth. So now the fact that they started to see it, when they think I'm just doing so much better because now I work in a hospital, I make money, I have a baby. I have my own life. And most of them are still with their parents. They're still home, which is not a bad thing, but they didn't grow up, and it's hard, but I want to show my son, you can't settle for less. You know what I mean?
That's
like
right.
I work right now in the hospital, like you told them, and I am depressed from like 5 years old clinically. So to be in a hospital right now during this crisis, it's really a mind blow.
You feel their pain even more. It's like an empathic thing. I wanted to say something because before
tremendously, and the fact that family can't be there for their loved ones, even if they had it or didn't have it. And all I can do is pray for them.
And another thing about family is it's funny because you notice like family, just because like when somebody says my family's not there for me, I find it very funny that we have so many family members and like one of us is struggling with bills. How funny would it be if like 20 people from our family took $40 each and helped somebody with a bill every month, and we did that circulating, right? We circulated that that money and it goes to somebody who needed help that month. And I always say that it's so funny because if we did that for each other, the things we could do. Before you even said that, I had wrote in something down. I wrote something down. I wrote something down. And I'm just tell you something. This is why I wrote this down, because I was doing this. I was attracting men that were abusive, controlling, crazy, wild, or they would be like so obsessed with me that they just would like be so on top of me. It would drive me fucking absolutely crazy. So I started to write things down like that. When I did a lot of therapy, guys. I'm sorry. It's like the truth. A lot of rehab, a lot of therapy, a lot of jails, a lot of programs. I did a lot of it, 10 years of it. Okay. So I have information from everybody, but the one thing that I'm going to tell you, I wrote down, 3 things I wrote down. Identifying your patterns. So when you're attracting, if anybody in here is attracting the same people, identifying your patterns, okay? Before any real change can happen, you need to take a good long look at your relationship history and identify the patterns. Patterns start during the formative. This is when you're growing up from young age. We will first start to become aware of the bonds that others. In most cases, they follow a blueprint. It's like the same thing over and over. That started in early childhood and have carried on, sometimes subconsciously, till this very moment. For example, if your father was emotionally unavailable, or you felt abandoned, you weren't supported, you didn't feel cared for, then this is entirely possible. This is the way you will have been hardwired to attract emotionally unavailable men or women. In order to stop this unhealthy cycle, you need to recognize the signs of men who are not relationship ready and stop trying to force something that will never be. This leads us to doing things and finding people that are hurt, and what happens is we're like, oh, this person's hurt, let me go fix them. Number 2, stop attracting people that need fixing. When you attract the same type of people into your life, you do so because they're familiar. For whatever reason, there's just something about the person that you can relate to, even if it's toxic. And because of unmet needs from your childhood, you can unknowingly get caught up in a cycle of believing that if you just love them enough, you can change them. I hate to break it to everybody in here, but you can't. You can't. They can only change themselves. If you want to end the cycle of attracting the same kind of patterns into your life, you need to stop connecting yourself with people who need fixing. You probably already have heard this before, but it's worth mentioning here. The only person you can change or fix is yourself. When you fix yourself, it is so vital, because when you start to fix yourself, what happens is those people that come at you that are not fixed, you'll notice it right away. When you're not fixed, you can't notice when somebody's not fixed, because you're both fucked up. So if one of you is healed and a person comes at you and you're already healed and you're in a good place, you will immediately notice this person's fucked up, and it's like, your energy will bounce off of them like a fucking ball on a wall. Like you'll just jump back. Like, no, I can't do this. Number 3, own your behaviors, okay? This is stuff that I wrote down like 2 weeks ago. Own your behaviors. Look at yourself in the mirror and acknowledge that it is you and only you who are bringing the wrong people into your life. For this tip to be successful, it must be accomplished without shaming yourself past decisions. I said this before. shaming yourself, telling yourself, I'm so stupid, why is it me? These are things you need to stop doing. Nobody willingly wants to date a serial cheater, an abuser, or a narcissist. But when you have hardwired yourself to believe that you attract these kinds of people and that's what you deserve, the outcome is obvious. You will attract those people and that's what will happen to you. Number 4, I have this one and number 5, and I think these are very vital for everybody in here. Number 4, believe you deserve better. A critical part of breaking your pattern of dating the same people is believing you deserve better. This involves so much more than just repeating some new age mantra. Like, I deserve better, I deserve better, that's not what it's about. It's really thinking and believing in your head,
Can I put
I
a
deserve
story
better.
into
So
that
listen,
just to prove a point on that? So,
yeah, I'm good. Let me just finish the 5th one.
go
You could,
sorry.
go ahead. No,
No,
go
I
ahead,
was just gonna say,
tell it,
so
go
they
ahead.
can, if someone doesn't understand it, I mean, I hope I could put in words. For example, right after my son's father took 2 years, I took him to rehab, did everything, still didn't care. I gave up on that, and that's when I sat back and said, "Well, I need to stop this. Why am I giving time away from my kid to help with someone who can't even care for themselves? Why am I sitting back paying his phone bill when my kid can't even get a diaper from his father?" You know what I mean? And I'm
That's
so
the point.
happy I said that
point.
because then right after that,
Yeah, because then you'd realize, exactly.
yeah,
You realize
I
what you
cried
needed to
in
do.
the corner of my bed for months. Why me? I need someone. Why can't I fall in love? I'm so nice and this and this. I finally met someone. Next thing you know, it was a test. And I figured it out because he knew me for over 20 years. And the next thing you know, he said he was getting divorced. He told me the divorce date, everything. Never got divorced. Then used my son as an excuse to break up with me because I was conning him into a relationship using my kid like his ex-wife. When I found out after, he was still married with her and went right back to her. So I said, that's it.
None of that is even to you, none of that should be even relevant. So the point is, you're you know, one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is very important, Mimi, because I know you're smarter than this and you know better, but that's why we're all here to learn from each other, right? You tell a story, we feedback. Let me explain something, one very important detail on how you can move forward. Number 1, forget about pointing out this. Listen, when you remember these small details, they will fuck with your brain so bad. So what you need to do is say, I learned this lesson and that lesson, not, oh, because when he left me, he ended up being with the lady and then the other kid, and then they have a picture with the pregnancy, and then I remember this. And so what you need to remember from lesson is not the details of what was better with them, and what you need to remember is what I do with Patriot. I do my ex, my bad. What I do with my ex is, what you do is you say things like, look, I learned this lesson from them. I'm not going to allow somebody to sit and live with me and ignore me, be in the living room all day long and be playing video games, come to me, have sex with me what they want, tell me to go make them food, do this, do that. And then I'm not going to let somebody treat me like that no more. Forget about what he's doing with his new wife, where they live, how he treats her. All that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, God gives us a blessing in a funny way. So you'll get separated from people for a reason, because God knew that person was just not going to treat you the way you need to be treated. Now, it's not because you're a piece of shit and you don't deserve it. Maybe that just wasn't for you, and that's it. Because you realize that you ever had a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you try everything to make this person more responsible, treat you better, talk to you different, and they don't, and then all of a sudden they go date somebody else and you're like, the fuck? How come that bitch is getting everything and I wasn't good enough? No, it's not that. Listen, it's not their fault that they didn't love you like they love this person. Everybody's meant to be with somebody different. What are you gonna do? Cry about it the rest of your life? Poor woman, I deserve better. And listen, I went through that shit too, where I cried about it too. But when I learned that, you know what, I forgive him because it's not even his fault. We just weren't meant to be together. We're on 2 different wavelengths. He's with this person now. Maybe they're both retarded enough for each other. And I hate to say it that way, but maybe they're both just as low vibrational as each other. So that's why they get along great. Maybe he wasn't on my vibration. Maybe he wasn't on my status, not meaning I'm better than him. But it's just the way it is. Okay. So like I said, all of that stuff, believing you deserve better, right? Okay, so let me get back to that. So you have number 1, for noticing that you're with the same people, identifying your patterns, stop attracting people that need fixing, owning your behaviors, believe you deserve better, and focus on self-care, okay? So healthy patterns are attracted to people who are confident and have good boundaries. I said that word before. Unhealthy patterns are drawn like magnets to people that have low self-esteem and allow themselves to be used. Energy vampires. This is like the stuff I learned in therapy, except for I put it in a spiritual perspective. So people that are unhealthy, they attract unhealthy people. So negative spirits attract negative spirits. Positive spirits attract positive spirits. So if you believe that you deserve a person who is capable of loving you for who you are, instead of what you pretend to be, you'll attract something amazing. Because we put out a facade. When we go on a date for the first 3-4 dates, guess what? Ain't nobody really themselves on the first 4 dates, which is why like my mom would be like, you got to stop being yourself completely when you go on dates. Because I talk to my mom, that's my best friend, and she'd be like, you got to stop being yourself. You got to pretend. Wait, what? So you want me to pretend I'm somebody else? Then they're gonna find out who I am later, and what's gonna happen then? So a lot of people don't do that. So what happens is a lot of people will push themselves away from me, but that's okay because I just showed you who I really am. And if you don't like it, I just gave you the chance to either stay or walk away. That's why you have to always be yourself. When you go on a date, when you just meet somebody, if your boundaries are, hey, look, even if you just started texting, I don't care how crazy you sound to yourself or a person. If you're like, listen, I'm not trying to text you right now because I'm not here to just have sex with you. I really want a serious relationship. Now, somebody might be like, damn, bitch, you just met the dude. Calm down. Have a normal conversation first. No, because I want this person to understand this is why I was attracted to you. This is why I'm talking to you. If you're not about that life, then you could just keep it moving. Go call Jalissa or somebody over there and have sex with them and leave me the hell alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to set boundaries, okay? We have to set boundaries with
Well,
people.
now
We have to be
look at the
ourselves.
guy that I told you I'm dating now, the Scorpio.
Yeah.
He's someone that has no addiction issues that I've yet seen or known. And he's actually there for me. And he couldn't believe our first date, how chilled I was, how normal I felt. And he questions why I don't argue with him, or why am I just siding with him because I actually agree with him, or am I doing it for him to like me? I'm like, dude, you might be shocked, but I actually agree with a lot of crap you're saying. We have a lot in common, accept it, and that's it.
Exactly. Because when somebody, listen, and then we're going to let somebody else get in, okay?
Yeah,
But
sorry.
number 5, okay? So we got all, we're good. Everybody ain't doing shit anyway. I ain't doing shit. Number 5, we got focused on self-care. Okay, focusing on self-care, you guys. One of the most powerful karmic truths in the universe is this: we cannot give what we do not possess. If you don't have the power of love inside of you, if you're not healed, you cannot give healing to someone else. I could not start to try to heal other people until I felt I was fully healed. If you don't love yourself, how on earth do you ever expect to attract love? One way you can generate love for yourself is through self-care. Self-care includes saying no to another. You have to be able to say no to another, right? Going to bars all the time, going out to places that mean nothing to you. If you got to say no to empty hookups with selfish people, this means saying hell no to anyone who wants to introduce you to the world of bad things like that. You just know that are going to bring you to a bad place. Loving yourself is all about preserving what you have and setting healthy boundaries. This will increase your confidence and paradoxically repel away the types of people you have attracted in the past. Paradoxically, meaning like nothing that is going on can attract those people because you're taking care of yourself, man. When you take care of yourself, you're healed. You cannot attract fucked up people. When you feel strong physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you'll find a different kind of person knocking at your door. Okay? So these are very important steps to knowing patterns. And believe me, those are called karmic cycles. So what happens is we get in a circle, a wheel of karmic. We go and we go and we go. Once you break, you decide to jump. I explained it like this. You're on a merry-go-round, right? This merry-go-round is going around. And the guy says, hey guys, the merry-go-round is broken. Now, the smart people will take the risk of scraping their leg. They'll jump off that merry-go-round and they'll get off the thing. They're not going to wait for 3 hours for it to be fixed. They'll take the chance of getting scraped. The people who are just like, what, duh, they'll sit on that merry-go-round till the next morning until the guy stops it. So if you don't take the chance to jump off that karmic wheel and take the chance of being hurt a little bit, you're going to get hurt way more by staying there longer, peeing in your pants, not eating all night. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? So it's like a wheel, a karmic wheel, okay? So let me see if somebody else got something to say. Mimi,
All right, I just want to say I love you guys. And
thanks for your story.
Always reach out.
Yes,
good night, all right? I have to take my son to bed, but I love you guys. Good night. Please be safe. Cover yourself.
Good night, Marisol. Love you.
Love you.
All right. So next is Nigel. Let me get Nigel up here.
Okay, Nigel.
All right.
All right, what's up, Flo?
Hi,
I want
baby.
to ask, how do you know if you're going through a karmic cycle or not?
Okay. All right. I actually wrote some of this stuff down. Karmic
Mm-hmm.
cycle. Okay. Because I've been there and I know what it's like. Okay, so this I explained to somebody today. You see how we're just talking about this, like the how to identify your patterns. So like how you identify this is like, okay, you always seem to be attracted to the same type of guy, right? So for you, for me, let's say we're attracted to the same type of guy, right? Now, he reminds you of the last guy you were with, right? It's like okay. Karmic means familiar, like it feels familiar. So for you to get uncomfortable a little bit and to meet somebody and say, this is not my type. Like I usually wouldn't. That's your other side saying, no. You need to go back to that other person that you're used to. Stay with the person you're used to. That's like basically the demons in your mind saying, no, fuck this new guy. The way he's talking, he might be white. He might wear a polo or something that's weird. That I like. Usually me, I wouldn't look at a blonde guy with blue eyes. Like I'm like, ooh, that's not my type. But when you open up your mind to seeing certain types of things that so you'll see yourself constantly going for the same type of thing, right? And you'll know because when you're in these relationships, the patterns of like this person, let's say they don't text you back, they don't they
What the hell happened to Flo? Yeah.
Flo froze.
Flo.
Let's see if we can get her.
wanted to be with me forever, right? But really, he was.
You froze for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Still freezing?
No, you're good now, but you froze for like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was saying, karmic patterns are karmic cycles are basically repeating the same patterns. So like when you find yourself with somebody who treats you the same way as someone else is, let's say for instance, I would find myself going on dates with guys and thinking that they want to be with me, right? I'd be like, all right, this person wants to be with me. But really, they were just trying to be nice to me to sleep with me. And then when they would sleep with me, I would notice they'd start acting different after, right? So they'd start texting me as much. They stop asking me to go out to dinner. Now it's just when are we chilling? We'd meet up in a hotel, go have sex, and that was it. It was the end for the night. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that people that are texting you or talking to you are reminding you of people from the past, that's not good. That's not good. Like when if you had some kind of bad relationship with your father or mother or anything like that, or family situation that bothered you, okay. Now, let's say, explain to me, like, what would you say your mother's personality was like that bothered you? Tell me something about it.
Come home and cuss me out every day. So I was like, it's getting me mad. I used to like,
okay,
I don't know, talking my shit back.
So, but when you date somebody, do you notice that they like when they talk to you a certain way, you seem to be a little more attracted to them? Yeah, right. So if they're like not like, so they'll like like for instance, growing up, my father passed away when I was 8, so I didn't have a dad around. So I never knew what a father was supposed to be like because I took advice from my uncles and everybody, and they were very mean. You understand what I'm saying? So when I started dating people, I thought that's the way it's supposed to be. I thought you're not supposed to get hugs. I thought you're not supposed to get talked to. So it's all seeing what reminds you of what bothers you, and that is a karmic cycle. So you have to break that. So then what you do is, and it's uncomfortable, so you start to tell yourself, I can't stand when a guy's too nice. It's weird. Right? So we're so used to being treated badly that when somebody actually comes in and tries to treat us right, what do? We run the other way. Because we're like, ugh, like they're too nice. Like they're texting me too much. Hi, cutie. They're texting me too much. They're being too nice. And you don't know what to do, right? That's because you're so used to being treated badly, you don't even know how to fucking get treated good anymore. Okay. So you're going to have to, that's why you have to break that cycle. So anytime somebody talks a certain way, you don't like the way they come at you, you don't like the way they disrespect you, that's your point right there to be like, nah, I'm done, bye, I don't need you. Who the fuck are you? Don't talk to me like that. I already had enough of that with my mother. You know what I'm saying? So break the cycle now, because you'll just date people that remind you of your mother.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So that's how you notice it. Get yourself in that position now. Whenever you talk to someone, you text someone. First of all, like I said, everybody, this is very important. So important that I have to keep stressing it. If you are not fully healed yourself, you cannot know or notice the patterns, the cycles, these relationships. How you gonna figure out if somebody treating you bad if you're still not treating yourself good? Okay? Understand, like, treat yourself good first, and then you'll learn how somebody else is treating you bad. You get me? You feel me?
Yeah.
Give yourself some time to be by yourself, bro. I'm telling you, give yourself the time to be by yourself. If you're in a relationship, you already know, like, this goes in if you're single or not. But if you're not in a relationship, you have to try to be by yourself for a little while. Figure out who are you? Who's Nigel? What do I want? When you know what you want, you could figure out what you want in a person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you kind of like then want to date yourself. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard somebody say, "Oh, if I could date myself, I would," because guess what? Like today, I'm not gonna settle. And if my friends text me and be like, "Oh, I'm dating this guy and he did this and that," right away I'm like, "Oh, fuck, boy, stop talking to him." It's not because I'm not a hater. I'm letting you know, yo, those are the red flags, homie. Are you noticing this shit, or you just gonna keep going? Like you're gonna wait till you're like 5 years in? You know what I'm saying? Calling me talking about I got 6 kids and he just left me. Bitch, I told you from day one, don't talk to him. And you didn't listen because you're not listening to your intuition. You see somebody ain't treating you right? So you got to stop talking to these people. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm on the phone. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We all got families here. I'm surprised somebody's not knocking on my door yet. Lena! Like,
he muted himself right now.
Okay.
All right, peace. I'm going to DM you, though. I'm going to talk to you.
All right, Nigel, bye.
Bye.
Tariq is chilling. I like that shit. Tariq's like, how you doing? That's how it's going on, son. Pop it. What are you smoking on over there, man? Times like this, I wish I had me a blunt. Okay, go ahead, Sadie. Shadia.
Oh, is it me?
Got
Okay.
Lily on. Sorry, I was on mute. We got Lily on. Lily, you can go.
Hi, Lily.
Okay.
How are you?
Hi, Lily.
Hi, I'm good. How are y'all? I love you guys.
I love you too.
I can't hear you, Lily. Let me see. Unmute. Oh, hold on. You muted yourself. There you go.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
All right. I just got. I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm okay, I guess. I really don't know where to start, honestly. I guess I've always kind of struggled with like anxiety and depression and stuff like that, and my family's kind of fucking crazy, you know. So sorry for cussing.
No.
But but like I guess kind of what started it is like I noticed these like patterns in my family, and I just was really determined to break them and stuff like that. Like my family never really takes anything seriously and stuff like that. Like I tried to kill myself when I was 19, and my mom didn't want me to go to the hospital, and like my dad was like, you know, if you kill yourself, you're going to hell. Like, and that was kind of the end of it. Like, you know,
yeah.
so
instead of seeing what was wrong,
yeah, so I've kind of just like dealt with it on my own, and you know, I've just been like determined to like break these patterns that I see in my family and stuff like that. And then recently in this past year, I've been going through what I believe is a spiritual awakening, because everything that you've been saying is making 100% like sense to me in my head, like the whole like evil spirits thing, and like I thought I was losing my fucking mind. I thought I was losing my shit. But
that's what happens.
Yeah, I thought I was losing it, and like your videos have helped me a lot. I've been meditating every day. I've been going outside in nature. Like I did mushrooms, and like it was great. It was great.
Ooh, nice.
I even went out and I got my own tarot deck, and I've been learning how to read cards and stuff like that. I guess
Awesome.
I don't know what to do next. I guess I don't know. I'm ready to take the next step.
Okay. So with that, I'm just gonna say, so let's mention the family cycles, because it's funny that everything that everybody's talking about, I happen to have wrote it down on paper here. Okay. So so with that, this is what you're calling shadow work, and you're breaking generational curses. People think that generational curses are not real, and they are so fucking real. What happens is everybody signs a contract. Like, I'm just gonna explain it like as simply as I can. We all sign contracts to come into our families for a certain reason, right? So now, whether it's for them to teach you lessons or for you to teach them lessons, we'll figure that out when the time is right, right? But just remember this: like, you signed a contract to come into your family before you were born for a reason. So you being the sensitive, emotional person, and them being so cold, like with my family, it's like, you're not depressed, you're stupid, you're crazy, you're bugging out, blah blah. All of that is for a reason, and I came into this family to either do this, either die saying I'm a sad, depressed person, or figure it all out and see what's going on with me, learn to fix it, and show them that being sensitive and being kind and compassionate and all that is actually very beneficial to not just me, but to them as well, right? So now my thing with you, like, okay, so I want to do ayahuasca trip, right? That's where I take like 10, 15, 20 people, whoever wants to come. Yeah, I want to take like 20 people with me. We go to like Costa Rica, we take ayahuasca. You meet Mother Ayahuasca and you meet your higher self. Now, yeah, you trip out. I've never tripped out before, but you trip out, and it's not, everybody thinks it's a drug, but it's a plant medicine, and it actually shows you what's in your subconscious, and you release it all. You throw up, you do all types of weird shit, but it's amazing. The shaman does a ritual on you. It's amazing. So I'm going to do that. So that's kind of cool that you said that with the mushrooms. I get it. Right. But now, so you said you started doing tarot and all that. So what happens to us is, like, after we figure out that there's nothing wrong with us and we're not crazy, spiritual awakenings, people think it looks like this, all cute and pretty. Actually, like I said before, my face broke out, my hair fell out, I lost weight, I gained weight, I was going crazy, I was seeing things, I was hearing things, I was having dreams, nobody understood me, I felt all alone in the world, but that's okay, because that's you doing what's called shadow work, okay? And I wrote that down too. Shadow work is very important to do. When you start to see the bad sides of yourself and what's going on with you, this is your mentality, your mind waking you up to the game, okay? So when you start to say to yourself, oh, I know why I'm depressed now, I see what's going on, you start to figure these things out about yourself. This is a spiritual awakening for a reason. You really do start to realize that the people around you are not like you. I don't fit in with anybody. You start to lose friends. You start to your circle gets smaller. You start to like notice things you don't like about people, and it's not because you don't like people. You can't deal with it. And now, because your vibrations are getting higher, those lower vibrational people, they'll start pushing out of your life, because your energy is like a force field around you. So like this, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, like I can like I'm starting to like see people's demons. Like when I look at people and like I look into their eyes, like I can see the shit that they deal with, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
right.
and it like
okay, so and that's a gift.
Okay,
that's a gift you have. So just know that that's a gift you have. And how I know that is because when I was about 17 years old, one of my best friends, she was over my house, okay, and we were laying in a bed, and it was dark in my room, completely pitch black. We were laying down together, and she laid next to me. Now, I opened my eyes. When I looked at her, she looked, you ever saw the movie Devil's Advocate, where their faces shift and their teeth, their mouth gets big and their eyes get, that's what happened to her. I jumped up, turned the light on. I was like, your fucking face turned into a demon. She was like, oh my God, you're crazy. I was like, no, bitch, no, there's like something living inside of you. I'm not joking. And you know what? Like I've seen things like this a lot. Like there was times when I would host clubs. I'm not even kidding. I'd be hosting a club and I'd be like in the VIP section. I'd look down into the crowd and I would see some people and their face would shift. And I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Am I bugging? And I wasn't drinking. I wasn't on drugs, nothing. And I'm like, yo, I must be bugging. Like, there was like 2 times where I was like, get me out of here. I was like, get me the fuck out. I would hang out with people after the club, and I would notice there'd be like a group of like light being type of people there, and they'd be all happy, and like there'd be auras around them, but right there, there'd be like all these dark-eyed people looking at my way. And I thought I was just like being selfish and thinking people were bad. That's not a bad thing. But don't let the ego ever tell you that everybody else is evil and you're perfect, because that's the ego right there. So you have to understand, to know the difference between you just realizing that people's you see, it's like an aura, basically. Seeing their bad sides is like seeing a bad aura and seeing a good aura. So that's a good thing. And as far as when it comes to the tarot card readings, how you start doing it, you start practicing on friends. Hey, you want to get a tarot card reading? That's what I did. Hey, let me give you one. I did it to a few people, and when I did it, they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Then I started to build the confidence in myself. Little by little, I started saying, you know what, I'm putting this shit out there. And I put it out. I did my first client. She paid me, I think, $25 or something like that. And I did it. And she couldn't believe it. Then she sent her aunt to me. So I charged her aunt $60, you know? And then I told her, you know, don't tell nobody I charged this money. I'm just doing you a favor. Then she went to her aunt gave, and little by little, the clients don't come to you by, hey guys, I did tarot readings in your face. You do it. You post up videos on YouTube. People start seeing them. They resonate with your readings. And when they do, that's spirit connecting them to you. So you can do readings for them and charge them. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And that's when you make it a business out of it. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Number one thing in this world, don't ever try to start something off only because you want to make money. When you start things off just wanting to make money, what happens is spirit's like, bitch, I'm not supporting that. If you say, like me, every day, let's say I say I want to heal people through my tarot card readings, because believe me, I struggled. The first tarot reading I did, anybody who was in there, they saw me get smacked in the hand by a legit ghost. I screamed. My hand was red. I had the handprints like this. And everybody's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, they're testing me right now. So listen, that's the way they're going to test you. They're going to be like, don't do this. This is evil. You can't be doing this. This is bad, right? So that's the way they test you. But if you give up when one little scary thing happens, you give up, listen, right there, you just gave in. You just gave in because they stopped you from living your dream. But if you say, I'm going to do this because I want to make a lot of money and I want to be rich and I want to make money on people, then guess what? Spirit will not support that, because to them, money and materials are not important. So you have to go into something with a blessed heart, a good heart, you know, and then just see people. Everybody's got good in them. Even evil spirits, you know what I do? I put out water and food for them, and I'm like, look, if you're in here, just eat, drink, and get out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're lucky I'm even giving you something to eat or drink, because a lot of them suffer greatly. They can't drink, they can't eat. That's their suffering. So if I feel them around me, I'll give them some kind of offering, because to me, I feel like then when I do that for them, they kind of protect my home and they see the good in people, and then you give them an opportunity to see the good in people. If you're just like, you're evil, go away, right? Okay, so if something's wrong with you and you're bad, and somebody just says, get away from me, you're bad, how would you feel? You'd stay being bad forever, right? So if one person shows you their love and their light and their compassion, then they might change you. You understand? So always understand, no matter what, just have compassion for everyone around you. And if you want to start your tarot shit, just start it, girl. Just start it. Start making YouTube videos. That's how I started.
Okay.
And I had like 12 views. Listen, I had like four views for like 3 months. Only 4 people were watching the videos. So don't think because I'm Flo from Bad Girls Club, it was easy for me. No, 4 people started watching it. Then people started seeing why I was consistent with it. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But I feel like I still need to get better at it though. Like I still don't. Oh, love you too. Love you too.
You can, and no, hold on, stop. So let me just explain something to you. You will get better at it. It took me like 3 months to really get good at it and to go with my intuition. But no, that's another thing. Don't deny your intuition. When you're feeling something, they'll be like, no, that's not right. Because I'll be like, I don't want to say that. And then I won't say it. And the person will say it to me, I'm like, fuck, I should have said that. Right? So always go with your intuition. And the more you do something, the better you get at it. Do it with respect, though. I'm telling you. Do it with respect. Damn, yo, her room looks lit. Linda's room. I love that shit. I just looked up and saw that shit looks dope. Yo, look, she got the setting, yo. She's like, yo, the ladies are gonna love this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm saying I would be happy in that room. Okay. But what I'm telling you is keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't stop.
Okay.
Do not stop.
Okay.
Do not stop. You gotta do that shit over and over again. I tell everybody the same thing. You gotta be consistent. Consistency will get you better at everything. Practice makes perfect, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Lily.
Don't give up on your dreams, girl.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So
I will love you.
Nobody new wants to join, but we want Linda. Linda wants to come back in to ask a question. So, Linda?
Yeah.
You're on.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hi.
All right, I have a question. So, how do I look at myself in the mirror and be like, damn, you're beautiful? With that, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, it won't work. It does not work at all.
Okay, all right. So I think everybody has this problem, okay? Because, like, there'll be days, listen, nobody's perfect. Girl, I look in the mirror, you know how many times I'll have to fight with myself? So, okay, so I do it like this. I'm just gonna tell you how I do it. So, like, okay, I'll come out of the shower. Bitch, I'm chubby, okay? I got a belly and all that. I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, oh my God. But then I'll stop and I'll be like, okay, so instead of noticing all the bad qualities in me, I'll go, yeah, but I got a cute nose though. And my lips are not that bad looking. And I'm like, you know what? I do have pretty eyes. And like, it starts with one compliment and those compliments build up to higher and higher and higher. So yeah, I might not be happy with the way my belly looks right now. I might not be happy with a couple of other things in my body, but I see the things that I do like. And then I say, well, I could always fix that if I wanted to. I could work on it. If I really wanted to, I could work out and look like this, you know. But it's either like this. If you don't like what you see, work on it, right? But if you don't accept what you are right now, what you'll do is keep telling yourself you're not beautiful, and then you start to see qualities that are beautiful in you. Like, for instance, I look at you. I see a beautiful nose, a beautiful clear skin, a beautiful face, nice lips, nice hair. Probably got a nice ass body too, mad tone and shape. Bitch, you better enjoy it while you're young. I'm telling you right now. So, like, all of that shit, right? So when I see it, nobody ever sees themselves the way other people see them. It's so funny how we look at ourselves and we're like, oh, this is wrong with me. I look like that. I look like that. But it's so funny when other people see us, they see such beauty in us, right? Isn't that weird? And that's because, but that's because we are the most, okay. So I always listen to this one therapist and she tells me all the time, we're so used to criticism from the world that we think it's like natural and normal. But like, if we try to wake up in the morning, and one thing I do in the morning, I wake up and I go like this. Wow, you know, you did a really good job today. And I couldn't have done nothing. I could have just woke up and had coffee without yelling at somebody, right? And that's a fucking accomplishment for me, right? So I'd be like, good job, Flo. You didn't get smart when you know, when you first wake up, you're grumpy and you're like, hold on, wait till I have my coffee, my cigarette, whatever. So like, I'll give myself one little compliment. It starts like that with the mirror image thing. They actually have a thing in spirituality. They call it mirror work. And like, it's for you to stare at yourself in the mirror, not at the dark time. Don't do it at night and be all weird and creepy with lights on and say those fucking drop dead Fred 14 times till he appears and shit. You know what I mean? But what you want to do is, like, let's say you wake up in the morning. The first thing you want to do, wake up in the morning, right? Look in the mirror and just stare at yourself for a little bit, and like, notice the cute things about you. Like, oh my God, I got cute lips. Like, pretend you're looking at someone else, like, and because when you look at someone else, you're gonna notice beauty in them no matter what, even if they're not the most best looking thing you've ever seen. Everybody's good looking in their own way. What you don't find attractive is somebody else will. One man's trash is another man's treasure, okay? So what you need to do is start to wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself one good thing about yourself today. One good thing. It starts with one thought. Like, you know, I explain it to you. You know, when they say that God said, let there be light, right?
Yeah.
It started with a word, right? So if you start with the word and then you create that word into a thought,
Yeah.
I want you, before you go to bed tonight, to go look in the mirror and say one good thing that you think that is beautiful about you. And I know you'll see something.
I'm looking myself in the mirror right now, and I'm just like, nope, because I tried
No,
so many.
but see, no. I don't even want to hear that, because that's you telling yourself that when you know damn well, you know what it is? Maybe you're so, you know what you should say? I'm so humble that I can't look in the mirror and say I'm good looking. That's how you change your perception of things, right? Instead of looking in the mirror and be like, nope, be like, wow, I'm that humble that I can't even look in the mirror and say I look good. Damn, I'm a good person. Right? So it sounds stupid, but you're giving yourself a compliment, right? Because I think you are gorgeous. I mean, bitches are gonna be flying all over you. You're still young. You're still learning about yourself. If you were my best friend at your age and you told me you was gay, that door in the room would be locked a whole lot, and our mothers would be yelling, "Yo, that's a whole lot. Why is the door locked?" Bitch, I'll be trying to get it in with you real quick. And like, I don't think I'm ugly, right? So if I find you attractive, what does that tell you? You're lucky you're young, you know, because I'd be trying to smash all day. But what I'm trying to tell you is, in the midst of me being funny, you have to also understand that it starts like that, man. Like, I don't even know how to tell you. Like, I used to look at myself in the mirror, and my body was, at that time, it was, I would say, close to, it was good. My boobs were good. My stomach was flat. Like, everything was good, right? And people would compliment me constantly, but I hated looking in the mirror. I hated looking at myself. You know why? There was something about myself that I wasn't fixing internally, right? It's an internal thing. It's all internal, man. It's all starts inside. Once you start to love yourself inside, you'll be like, everything else is beautiful. And I think that girl doing that to you also kind of fucked with your head a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could have really fucked your whole shit up. So you gotta change that thought pattern. Anybody in here who doesn't meditate, if you feel uncomfortable meditating, you know, this shit is crazy, I don't want to do this shit, I'm going to tell you right now. You tell me the times and the dates, or I'll set up the times and the dates this week. We'll start off with this week. Maybe we'll start off Monday night, right? Because nobody's really doing anything at like around 9 o'clock. We could all, the kids are probably sleeping by 9:30. We could all get in our room for 15, 20 minutes. We ain't got to stay on here for 3 hours. Get on for 15, 20 minutes. We'll turn the lights off. I'll do the guided meditation. We'll start like that. And if you guys love it afterwards, if you guys all like, that was cool, man, we'll do it again. We could do that shit. I'm down to do it every single night. Like, I'm down. But like, it all depends on everybody else, you know? Even if it's 2 people, I'm down for all. Let me tell you something. The power of team meditation will fucking change your life. I mean, because when people in a room get together, meditate, I'm just going to tell you one story, Linda, and this is because meditating is going to make you more confident. So this has a lot to do with telling you what to do, right? Okay, so they did this experiment, right, where everybody in this one neighborhood there was mad violence there, people with drugs, this and that. They took a team of 30 people, right? And this is a town of like maybe 3,000, 4,000 people, small town, but they took a team of like 20 to 30 meditators, I'm not sure how many people, and they had them live there for 5 months, right? And every single night, these people meditated and imagined this place getting better. Within a month, crime rate went down. Within 2 months, the drug addicts started disappearing. Within 3 months, the police officers were saying, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. It worked. And they were meditating the problems away. Do you understand why do they say the collective? Because when a lot of minds think the same way at the same time, and I'm going to say this, you see the media, right? We watch the media and they keep telling us, coronavirus. So now most of the collective is sitting at home like, we're going to die of a virus. So now the collective is drawing in this negativity. If they put shit like this in the morning, good morning, everyone. We are going to beat the coronavirus. This too shall pass. We'll be okay. If they did that every morning, you know how fast this shit would have been gone already? You don't even know the power of the thought. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I'm telling you, it's this crazy that when I think of something I want, I'll be like, I want this, but like, I really will feel it. I'll be like, I really want to do this. I've been manifesting this Zoom meeting, all this together. All right, Tyreek, that's what's up. I've been meditating and manifesting this right here, this meeting, for so long, for like a year now. And it's here. Look, it's here. It might take some time for certain things because this takes work. A lot of people got to come together. They all got to agree at the same time. It's the power of my thoughts, though. It's because I believe it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. You think I wasn't fucking afraid that everybody's going to make fun of me and shit? Of course, I was terrified. I was like, everybody's gonna think I'm stupid, I'm crazy, I can't do this. But then I did it, and then like one person was like, good job. Like Bessa was there, somebody I grew up with was there, and then I grew up with her, and she was there supporting me. And like it's funny because you the people that you connected with, they'll just come back around to your life. These people that you thought you weren't really gonna talk to when you got older, like you're not gonna see them. It's like boom, they come right back, and then you see the little bit of support. And it started off with 3 people looking at me and going, listen, people are like, you're Flo. Everybody was, no, they weren't actually. Bessa knows, everybody knows. I started the YouTube thing. There was like 4 people in it. I didn't give a fuck. I was still going on and on and on. Okay. I'm in for the meditation too. Felicia's in it. You see, I'm telling you. And if we all meditate, let's say for that meditation, we'll set up nights. For one night of meditation will be my left ear is burning. So whoever spirit is in here right now, they're loving this whole thing. They're loving it. Okay. And last night I watched this lady. She's on YouTube. It's called Alchemy in You. She gets messages from spirit and she'll say things. And she said last night, the Zoom meeting, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So I feel like my father connects with me through that. And so does my uncle who passed away. Leah's dad came through Bessa, Leah's father. I'm telling you, yep. She said, I'm having chest pains. I'm sitting down in a foreign country. I swear to God. And okay, so I connect with spirit, right? I asked for them to come through. My left ear is burning like crazy. So, if we all say this night, Monday night, right? We'll say Monday night, we're all going to meditate to get rid of negative. The first night's got to be all about negative energies. We got to get rid of all the negative energies in our life. So what I'll do is I'll sage here and I'll send that sage to you. Believe it or not, it works. You guys close your eyes. You imagine that sage going into your room in all the 4 corners. I'll light the frankincense and I'll do all this. I'll do all my spiritual blah, blah, blah shit, right? And it's not blah, blah, blah shit. Like, bitch, we will heal. Within a month, I guarantee you, everybody on here is going to be like, yo, what the fuck? My life is getting better. Things are changing. I'm feeling better. Things are going my way. And I promise you, if we stick through this for a month, if it doesn't work, I'll return everybody's fucking money back. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's like literally, I guarantee it, okay? If you don't like, you'll love the way you look. I guarantee it. By the end of the month, if you don't love yourself 10 times more and see yourself in a different light, I promise you, you could go online and call me the biggest retard and crazy person ever. But I promise you, you will love it. So we're going to start with something small. We're going to start with the meditations. From there, we'll do this counseling thing every Sunday because this here, talking about your problems and then having people listen and then just saying it out loud is so therapeutic. Do you know that? Because you're in a room full of people that don't know you and you're able to tell your insecurities. So then, you know what? You're facing your own insecurities. You can go look in the mirror after this and be like, Kayla's down. Everybody's down. You can go look in the mirror after this and say, you know what? Okay, so since everybody's in here, whoever's in here, tomorrow night, Monday night. So, okay, so what time is everybody okay with? 9:30? Unmute everybody. Sadie. Sadie. What time is everybody down for the meditation? From tomorrow night.
Good.
9:30 is
Anytime.
good.
9:30.
Okay. I think 9:30.
I live in Texas, so that's probably 8:30 for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9:30 New York time. Remember that? So it's New York time. But so
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Perfect. Okay. So
9:30. I gotta do some
New York
shit.
time?
okay, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Wait, I'm
Okay.
confused.
8 o'clock. We'll do 8 o'clock for the people that try to go to bed early and stuff. Is that cool?
Okay.
Yeah,
I got
that's fine.
stuff
8
to do.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, y'all on the East Coast, right?
We're on the
Yeah.
East Coast.
Okay.
Okay, so 8 o'clock. So tomorrow night we're gonna start. I'm gonna do the guided meditation for removing negative energies from our lives, on our homes and our surroundings, and removing anything that no longer serves us. That'll be the meditation I'm focusing on tomorrow. So what I will do is, yeah.
I got a question.
What's up, babe?
So, like, if I feel like I just want to cry, can I just go ahead and cry, or am I just supposed to like keep it in? Because when I cry, I think
That
negative.
shit go.
Cry. Okay.
Let it go.
Cry that shit out.
Bye. Let it go.
Yeah, you gotta cry. Listen, you know, like I told you, this, Nigel. Nigel.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Tomorrow, watch when we meditate. I guarantee you 1 or 2 people is gonna start crying. Somebody's gonna cry. Somebody might fart, somebody might cry, somebody might throw up, something's gonna happen. Yo, I'm dead ass serious. You think this shit is a game? Bro, all the time
I'm dead.
Yo, I'm telling you, like,
mute the phone at that point.
like 2 weeks ago, yo, like 2 weeks ago, I meditated. I couldn't stop crying, but I know why. It's because I was releasing the last part of my shadow self. So you gotta just, let that shit out, man.
Let it
out.
go.
Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore.
Or like, what if
That's
when I cry,
stand
like
up,
think
so
negative?
stop
Like I
crying.
think
Stand
negative
up,
when I
'cause they can
cry.
hear you. Stand up.
What if you want to cry but you think negative? You said.
Yeah, like when I cry, I think negatively
Okay, and that's
about
okay.
what I'm
That's
crying about.
It's okay, and that's okay because
I'll cry with you.
what you're doing with that when you cry and you think negatively is you're letting out the pain that's inside of you. So what you need to do is when you're crying, be like, okay, this is what I do now. Now when I cry, I'm like, okay, it's okay, let it out. This is what's bothering you, let it out, Flo, let it out. And I will cry it out. Just talk to yourself while you're crying. Talk to yourself. It's like pretend there's someone there patting you in the back. It's actually more annoying when you're crying and someone's there. It's like, it's okay, you're gonna be okay. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I
So,
hate that. That's why I do it in private. I don't like doing it in public. It's so weird. Like I can't be around a bunch of people.
Right, but that's why I
Pause
say
the
tomorrow.
camera and just let it out.
Yeah, but you know what's gonna be great about tomorrow? You could even cry in front of all of us. Listen, I've done it. I went into straight up meetings.
Mind.
Yeah, like I went to straight up meetings with 30 people in there, and I was crying like a bitch. I was like, I don't know. They were all staring at me, and when I was done, they were like, "That was beautiful. That was,
Everyone
people."
cries.
Yeah, but not, and everyone poops. Okay, so let's not get it twisted.
We do.
It's like,
right.
ask yourself the question. Tomorrow night when doing okay, so everybody 8 p.m. be in here. All I want you to do is do one thing for me. Have a white candle. That's it. A candle. It doesn't matter what color, whatever.
Okay.
Just have a candle. If you can have a candle, because we're gonna do candle work, which I'm gonna show you guys how to. It's just basically staring at the candle, and it sounds stupid, but it works. You stare at the candle, and I'm gonna sage everybody, and I'm gonna cleanse everybody with Palo Santo and all this stuff. So just have a candle, and we're gonna just sit in the dark at 8 o'clock, and it's gonna be like 20 minutes, okay? I'll guide you guys through it. Close your eyes. I'm going to say what we're doing, and all everybody has to do is say in the beginning of the prayer, saying it is so, and that everything that I'm saying is going to come to fruition for all of us. If all of our minds are doing the same meditation, it clears our energy. I guarantee you everybody's going to sleep like a baby tonight. Mark my words, I will have all my spirit guides and angels on top of your heads watching you and helping you. I promise you.
I have a quick question. If we have sage, like, can we burn it at the same time as you are?
Yes,
or is
you
that like
Do it before or during? Does it matter?
Damn, somebody loud as fuck.
Oh, that's probably me.
So no, but
y'all finna bust my whole energy.
no, she sounded like a robot. She was like before or after. No, but that was funny.
Let me put that down.
I love that. He said, "Dad, somebody." No, so what we're gonna do is at 8 o'clock. You be there at 8 o'clock sharp. So what we're gonna do is when I start, the lights will be on. I'll walk around the room, and whoever does have sage or whatever, I'm gonna show you like a little bit of sage, not too much, because we don't want to kick out all the spirits. See, white sage kicks everything out. It's like everything goes out the window. That's why you have to have sweetgrass after, because sweetgrass invites some good spirits back in.
Where you get that shit from?
So
Where you get that from? I don't know where to get that. Nigel,
oh, my ears itching.
They have your ears itching?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and my left ear is burning a lot. It's
oh
like,
yeah.
look,
Last night,
it's on
my
fire.
left ear was burning like fuck. Oh my god, it hurt so bad.
Also, another thing we'll talk about is hold on, guys. If you go on my Instagram, okay, I posted a post, and it tells you when your left ear is burning from the times that it is and what the message is. So that's your spirit guides trying to communicate, like from 3 p.m. to 6
my ear
p.m.
was
A
burning
family
after
member
you gave
will
me
tell
my
you good
reading.
news. You see? Okay, so, and that's, like I said, you got to look at that post I put on Instagram, and it'll tell you the times and what those messages are so you can understand. Okay, so like right now, I feel my left ear is burning, but I don't have to look it up. This is spirit guides and angels being very, very happy about what's going on here. They're loving it. They are in love right now. You understand? I feel that they're just like in my ear, like, yes, 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 yes. Like they're amping me up right now. It's crazy. Right? So, okay. So in the beginning, we'll start with the sage. I'll do the sage, blah, 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 all over the place. And then from there, we'll start the meditation. I'll do the guided thing, and everybody sits down, quiets your mind, and I'll show you. I'll be like, let your mind go free. Just keep it going, right? So then after that, whatever you guys want to say, what you experienced during the meditation, I would love to hear everybody's responses, how you felt. I have the most beautiful meditation music I'm going to put on. It's perfect. So we're going to do it. I'm so excited about this. This is like now you could say that I'm going to jump for joy this whole time
people
right
ain't
now.
gonna be here though. It's gonna be different people.
No, well, some of them, they'll be here.
All right, we'll see.
Whoever wants to be here will be here, and it doesn't matter who comes to. It doesn't matter who. I know spirit will guide those who need it the most to come to it, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got to think about it.
And if you feel uncomfortable that somebody comes and acts funny style, we could just kick them right out. Like, everyone here was great tonight, but get a little, some clowns coming in, we could just kick them right out.
I'm surprised not here.
No, listen.
We some calm people today.
Yeah, I mean, I did do. I'm not gonna lie, I did like a whole positivity spell before we did this. It's not like a spell, it's like a mantra. Like, I wanted to keep the negativity out. So before I started, I meditated. I imagined that all the force fields around us all are protecting us from any negative energies, and believe me, that shit works. So like, I'm gonna show you guys how to do that when you leave your house and you're going to a place you don't feel comfortable. You can protect yourself like with the good energy and the white light around you. That shit really works, man. It's how you really perceive this world. That's how you're gonna live. Wake up to the game, because the government, everybody, all that, like, we're not gonna mention all them because they don't even, like, they're not worth our mentioning, but they try to keep us down like this by telling us that's evil, don't do that, like, follow the way the religion tells you. And yes, I love God, I am a godly person, but I don't follow religious rules, because I know that they're put in place to keep us in control and not let our minds be free like the way we need it to be free.
Like, you can't even.
Like, you think I'm stupid? You think if I know this,
I don't want to be a
reason.
slave.
Like,
I want to be a slave.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a slave mentality. If you like,
I always
even
feel trapped when I go to church.
Yeah, and you know what it is? It's because first of all, and then they put that shit into you, like, being gay is against the. If being gay was against the law or against God, I don't think God would have made gay people. Like, really, wake the fuck up. What are you talking about? How stupid can you be? Like, do you think that God was like, I'm gonna make black people, white people, Chinese people so that they could be racist? No, he was like, I'm gonna make some different motherfuckers so when they get down there, they'll be like, ooh, look, a variety of people. But no, people took it and went the wrong way. It all started with the white man, but let's not go there. He quit Swatcha. You ever seen Ace Ventura? Ace Ventura? He quit Swatcha. White devil.
Damn.
That's a fact. But so like what we need to do is focus on the positive, forget about the negative. We're not here to make everybody else change. We're here to change ourselves, period, man. Fuck that. Everybody wants to change the world. Nobody wants to change themselves. Everybody.
Right.
Oh, I got a question. Like, I tried to meditate one time, and like all these negative energies came in my head, and I just got up and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, that's a test, okay? Like I told you, when I first did tarot the first time, that's a test. You will be tested in life just as you'll be tested in your mind. So when you try to like do things the right way, what happens is life will test you. It will bring you tests all the way. You could be living the most positive. You could be living the most positive life, doing the right thing. But what do you think in life? Look, you guys, look, I always go back to this. It's funny that I just talked about religion, but remember when God tested Joseph? Was it Joseph the one that he told, kill your sons and then I'll do whatever you need me to do? And he was about to do it and God was like, no, don't do that. Jesus got tested with the bread and turning the stone into bread in the desert by Satan. Muhammad got tested. Everybody gets tested in life. So especially the more you try to be positive, the more you get tested. So the goal is, once those negative thoughts happen, listen, just let them happen. It's up to you to be like, hey, shh. Like, do like a shh, shh. You ever saw Caesar? He does this to the dog, shh. and the dog shuts up because he
Oh
told
yeah,
us
the
to shut
dog
up.
whisper. You watch that too? I didn't even know you
Right.
watched that, Flo.
I watch everything. Let me tell you something. Another thing I'm gonna tell you, when dealing with spirits, when I deal with spirits, sometimes I'll do tarot readings and I'll feel negative, or I'll do readings on people and I'll feel negative. You know what I gotta do? I gotta be like, back up. Let's, and you know, you always hear people that do readings say, let's clear that energy, let's clear that. No, let's clear that. Because as they're hearing voices, those bad things are talking to them too. When I say hearing voices, they're not hearing actual voices, but they're hearing it in their head. So as they're hearing messages, bad messages are coming too, but they're blocking them. Do you understand? So you'll always hear a medium say, like they ask, if you look online, you'll ask, how does a medium, you know, deal with negative energies, negative spirits? They always say, I just tell them to go away, and they do. It's you. You're the one who controls this. You're creating those negative energies. So when you're sitting there, when you're sitting there having negative thoughts while you're meditating, the first thing you got to do is say, shh, quiet. Thank you for sharing. I send you off to the love and light. Thank you. And then you just quiet your mind. Start again. If it happens again, you do it again. You keep doing it till they get the point. I mean, it's like a child. They're not going to ever get the point of like not to behave badly if you don't keep showing them the right way to behave. You understand what I'm saying?
I wanted to interject about something. So when I went to therapy, my therapist told me we're going to get good ideas and bad ideas in our head, like bad thoughts and good thoughts. So this is how you got to view your thoughts. So keep your eyes closed and then like picture each of your thought like a log in a river, right? So your thoughts are temporary. Okay. They're going to pass. They're not always going to be there. You're not going to have the same bad thought 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're going to have that thought for a minute and then it's going to go down the waterfall and it's going to be gone. So that's a good way to think about it. Like I would get really mad.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's and meaning like the log in the, what she means by the log in the river is like, you know, when a log's in the river, it just flows down, it goes away after you see it for a little bit. So that's what a thought's like. Can I tell you guys a story? And I love telling everybody this, okay? It's good. Speak. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you guys heard it, but it's really good. A good way to look at your subconscious, how funny it is. Okay. So there's a man, right? He goes to the Buddhist and he says to the Buddhist, why do I keep having a dream that a demon is chasing me, right?
Oh my God.
So the Buddhist said, why don't you? Okay, listen. Now listen to the story. So the Buddhist says to him, listen. So the Buddhist says to him, are you having this dream every night? He goes, yeah. He goes, okay, so one night, why don't you confront the demon? So the guy goes to sleep every night for a week. And he keeps seeing the demon's chasing him. Every single night, this demon is chasing him. So he listens to what the Buddha says. So he says, I'm going to go to sleep tonight. And when that demon chases me tonight, I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask the demon why he's chasing me. So he goes to sleep. The demon's chasing him in a dream, chasing him. So the guy stops. He goes, wait. And he looks at the demon. And the demon goes, what? He goes, why are you chasing me? And the demon says, I don't know, dude. It's your dream.
Shit, I don't know.
Get it? Get it? Now the demon's like, bitch, I don't know why I'm chasing you. You're the one having the dream. I'm in your dream. Hello? He's telling him basically, you're creating me chasing you. Fix it. What the fuck do you want me to do about it? So he realized, holy shit, I'm the one who's creating this demon. I'm the reason why.
Me and that demon had a whole fight.
What?
Me and that demon had a whole fight. We would have had a whole fight.
And that's okay. Because that's you fighting your own demons. Listen, your demons come to confront you inside your dreams. They confront you in your mind. They confront you on a daily basis. Okay, so like they'll test you. They'll test you in ways where like you're hanging out with somebody and somebody starts talking shit about somebody. They'll be like, that bitch is whack. You see her clothes? And if you start being like, yo, word, her shit is whack, you just gave in to, let's say, the demon or the person who's got the demon in them. So if you decide to say to this person, yo, you should probably just stop talking about them. Like, you know, you're getting me sick. Like Sadie knows, she knows if she comes, if anybody tells me anything negative, I'll be like, yo, do me a favor. Just keep it to yourself. I don't want to know. Cause like when you start telling me other people's shit, what happens is all of us being the empaths that we are, will take on people's shit. So you don't want that. You don't want a friend around you who's a shit talker. You don't want a bitch who's posting negative shit all the time. You don't want a dude around you who's like, that bitch ain't wearing Louis Vuitton. She ain't no good. She broke. So what? Let the bitch be broke.
I like you wasn't fucking broke, bitch ass.
What? Say that again?
Nothing. I was just talking little shit.
Say that again?
Nothing.
Well, I'm just saying. And you know what? Listen, sometimes we all have that in us. Sometimes me too. I want to be like this stupid ass bitch. I'll fuck her up, right? But you know what I do to myself now? Before I used to be like, oh, I'll fuck her up, or I want to fight her. I don't like her. Now I'll be like, if I don't like somebody, I try to see what is it about her that's reminding me of myself. Because let me tell you something. You usually have problems with people when they remind you of something that triggers you. Right? So if something triggers you for anger, it's because you have something inside of you that you need to identify within yourself. 100%. That's why I always say if you're not healed, you're gonna date the same types of people. It's just natural human shit. So that's why you gotta fix yourself. Like you hang out around people that poison you, you're gonna be poisoned. You hang around toxic people, you're gonna be toxic. You hang around people who drink when they go out all the time, you're
I
gonna
don't hang
drink.
around shit now. I don't hang
That's
around
good.
nobody because they was all like fake. I just like cut all of them off.
And that's
Man, fuck all y'all.
And Nigel, I'm so proud of you for that because like when you said that to me, that right there showed me that for your age, for you to be growing and noticing that now is very vital. At this present moment, we are all going through this shift right now, which means, okay, so you think God did this to us because he wants to punish us? No, he was actually trying to slow us down so we could all figure out what we want
Y'all
to do with
crazy
life.
as fuck.
We actually, a lot of us are getting good benefits out of this. We're noticing who our true friends are right now. We're seeing, like, if people ain't calling you and texting you, being like, you all right? How you doing? How's your family? Is everybody okay? These are not your real friends. These are not people that care about you. So what you need to do is take this time right now, especially this time. You're not working, you're not doing something. Get creative. Do something.
Yeah,
She's knitting.
Don't
She's
be sitting
making
in the
something.
house not doing shit. That's you being lazy as
Like,
fuck.
do something. Keep your mind busy. When you sit on, if you're sitting at home right now and all you're doing is watching TV, watching Netflix all day, listen, you do this every day. Listen, Nigel, listen, every day of the week, what you try to do is every day of the week, 3 days a week, try to create something, work, do something. Then you take one day out of the week where you just get to binge. That's why people go on they go on cleansings where they'll do like 3 days no eating meat, no drinking, none of that, and then they'll do like a day of having fun eating meat, eating burgers. So you do that, you limit yourself. It's like everything is too much of it is toxic for everybody. So you find 3 days out of the week you could chill out, relax. I mean, you could work hard, and then the one day a week you could just bullshit, do whatever you want, be on the phone, do the garbage
whatever
shit
the
for the day.
motherfucker you want. Shit.
Right, and then you have those other days where you at least you'll feel good about yourself, and you know you're only releasing for one day, and it's not every day. Because when you do that shit every day, it's so toxic for you. It's so bad for you. It's so bad. Oh, another trick. I'm gonna tell you guys one more thing. And what time is it? Okay, so we're gonna end this in a little bit. Another thing I'm gonna tell you guys: when you wake up in the morning, please don't let the first thing you do is looking at your phone.
Your phone.
Every
you
person,
told us that live.
Yeah, every person that's successful in this world, they always say the first thing in the morning that I never do is look at my phone, because you could see a text message that might make you mad. You might see a text message that might make you mad. You might see like a Gmail, an email, or an Instagram post that might trigger you for the day. So you need to get up. First thing you need to do, get up for the first 6 minutes. Something like that. And then the shower is always beautiful. Or you could just lay down in bed for like 10 minutes and just think positive thoughts. Like, today is going to be a great day. I'm going to create. I'm going to be happy. Everything's going to go good for me today. That's what I do. And then guess what? Everything goes great for me. Then like an hour later, I'm like, okay, time to look at my phone. And I'll look at my phone. I'll check it out, and then I move on from there. And my whole day goes good because I didn't start my day off negatively. And sometimes it's not even you who's negative. It's other people. You feel me?
Yeah. Most of the time it is other people.
Very vital. And yeah. 100% of the time. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
We don't wake up in the morning saying, today's going to be a bad day. I hope today goes shitty. Yeah. We could see a stupid post that somebody posted and hate it and be like, oh, that's it, and it ruins everything, right? So that's why I tell you, you sleep. First of all, when you go to sleep at night tonight, everybody go to sleep tonight and go, I have beautiful dreams. I'm gonna have a great sleep, and I forgive everybody, and I forgive myself for all the harm that's been caused to me. Play a little prayer on your phone right next to you before you go to sleep. Listen to a prayer or something positive when you're going to bed, so that your mind, when you go to sleep, can think positively as well, right? Yeah. Try to do that to yourself. Try it. Just try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But
like when I was feeling down, I used to sleep at all. I used to just think all night, but it used to be bad stuff, and I used to be like, I can't help it.
Yeah. Well, that's because but that's the negative. So that's why we're gonna start the meditation thing tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's gonna change our lives, guys. What does she want to ask? Who somebody wanted to ask a question?
Yeah, like
y'all go ahead and
how do
talk.
you
Okay, that's the
how do you like ask someone to come in your dream? Like say my mom, for instance, like how do I ask her to visit me in my dream?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. This is a very funny question that you're asking because my father. It seems like everybody else comes in my dream except for him, right? You want to know why?
Right.
They feel like we're not healed from their death yet. So if they feel like you're healed from their passing, they'll come to your dream. Or if you really, really, really need them and something's really bad, they'll come to your dream. Spirit will not just show up into your dream, especially when it's a mother or grandmother, because they're afraid that it's going to just trigger you, right? My grandmother visited me in my dreams. You know when she waited till I was having fucked up thoughts, and I was. They just won't do it because they're afraid it's going to hurt you. So what you need to do is show your mom that you're healed from her passing. So whatever you might think you're healed, but really subconsciously you're not healed from her death, right? So you wanting it that badly, you know when you want something so badly and it just doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So you have to you have to try to let that go a little bit. And that's what I did with my dad. Yesterday I said, you know what, Dad? Listen, I had a mediumship. I had a reading with a medium, and everybody came through except for him. And I said, you know what, Dad, I'm not even stressing it no more. I said, whenever you want to come say hi to me, they will come right at the perfect time. Good night, Kayla. They will come right at the perfect time. Just don't try to force it. You feel me?
Y'all
Because when you
going
try
to
to
bed
force it, they stay
early.
way even more because they know there's a reason why she's trying to force me to come see her. Something's going on. She needs to fix it and heal it before I can do that. It's like they have rules in the spirit world. They have to follow them. You understand what I'm saying? So what you need to do is tomorrow, that's another thing we'll work on is the shadow self. Like we'll work on so when we ask these things to come up, you guys, it might be a little scary at first because we're going to ask spirit and angels to show us about ourselves what we need to fix, right? Just know that when we ask this, it's going to be uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, you would rather face that problem now. Good night. You would rather face that problem now than wait until it affects you in a negative way, okay? So please, when I say these things, you guys all have to be ready to see those sides of you that you probably are going to be like, no, this is hard, but it's all right. 2 months of it, and I swear to God, you're going to be a different person. I promise you that. I swear, because if it worked for Florina, if it worked for moi, it's going to work for you. Period. But other than that, I just want anyway, so besides all that, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I wanted to ask everybody a question. Is everybody okay? If you're not okay, that's fine. If you're not comfortable with it, is everybody okay with me posting any of this on YouTube? Is anybody okay with that? Your faces will be in it. People will see you. They will hear you. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right, cool. Because because I don't want later to be like, what the fuck, Flo? It's supposed to be private. But you know why I'm doing this so people can understand. Talking about shit is not embarrassing, bro. We all go through things, right? Everybody here goes through something. And the point of this is to start our community. And I'm not trying to start a cult or none of that shit, but what I want to start is a community of people that, because they could sound culty, but I'm trying to start a community so that when any of us that are in this room, we all have the emails now. We could email each other, man. Listen, if I'm going through something, I'm like, I need to talk to somebody. Because remember, I'm trying to heal everybody else, but very rarely does someone ever listen to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's times when I need to be heard too. So everybody has to be there for each other. Everybody, listen, it's just like a family thing. If someone here is struggling, let's say financially, don't try to come at us talking about, can you send me $400? Listen, if somebody's really struggling that badly, I will ask everybody in this community, yo, can everybody put up $10 each to send to her so we can help somebody out? You understand this is the point of this community? We start off like this, and then if somebody's like, I don't have no food in the fridge, those type of things, if somebody comes at us with that, listen, I'll donate 30, somebody else 5, somebody else 5. Together, we could send that person $100. They could eat for 3 weeks. You feel me? You know how amazing that would be if we started this community, we build it up little by little. We'll help each other out in so many beautiful ways, and emotionally, financially, if we can. If we can't, we can't. Listen, we can't force people to do shit they can't do. But everybody can help each other. You feel me? Everybody here. Everybody can help each other one way or another. It doesn't have to be you know, money doesn't fix everything. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you got to have money, and it doesn't matter. Somebody's eternally could be breaking down, and we just need each other. I know I need people all the time. You know, it's like a needy thing. I love love. Yeah. Everybody needs somebody, man. Everybody needs somebody sometime. Like everybody needs love. Everybody, man. Like, if I was in a room with you guys right now, like, I'm a weirdo. I'd be like, hug me. I want to hug you.
Yeah, I'll be hugging
you know, and I'm not like it's just a love thing. I know. I'm like a creep like that. Like, I'll be like, yeah. I'd be trying to feed everybody. I'd be like, here, eat. Like, you know, like, everybody eating right now. And that's beautiful. That's why life is so beautiful, because, you know, instead of looking at each other for what we look like, what we have, all that stuff, we get to know each other in a way that nobody else will. And so at the end of the day, when we go, like, let's say when the summertime comes and all this, the cross goes back to hell where it belongs, and we could all get together. Let me explain something to you. Those meetings, when you leave there, I mean, you're not going to ever feel better than when we leave those meetings. Everybody's hanging out, everybody's hugging, everybody's on the mountaintops. I know places that we can go for free. If everybody goes and gets one little, or cooks and makes one little thing together, we can have like the best things. Like, we'll sit in the mountain, we'll have picnics, we'll meet, we'll meditate. Come on, now we'll walk. Like, get the fuck. Those are free things to do. Free. Yo, best things in life to do. The best things in life are free. Okay, I'm telling you, they are. They are.
I'm so excited for that.
Me too. I can't wait. I can't. And you know, if you're in a different state and all that shit, don't worry about it, because by the time this all comes up, that's my whole plan, is to, like, when I sell t-shirts, I'm putting that money away for spiritual events and things like that, so that I can rent a bus to pick people up and be like, okay, get on a bus at this time, and everybody's gonna meet up. Or even if somebody lives in that state, I'll be like, yo, just drive. I'll pay your gas and tolls. Why do you think any money I make that's extra, or I'm doing this, that's why I'm working so hard with these people out here trying to heal people but make money at the same time, because my goal is further than just making money. I want to be able to have these things where people can come for free, gather up, or I can have a big convention where people could pay to, like, listen to us motivational speak and stuff like that. So whoever wants to get involved in this, you are more than welcome to do that. I don't need to be doing nothing alone. Okay? There always got to be one person who's like the leader, who's like, all right, blah, blah, blah. But there's always a team of people behind that person. Remember that. Nobody does nothing alone in this world. Nobody. 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 Yeah. I can't even say serious. If I could have never been a counselor, but I would have been like, listen, bitch, yo, you come here every week with the same problem. I'm gonna need you to really fix that. I'm just like, you know, after like 5
Y'all
months.
waiting for me to talk.
Bitch, you've been coming here 5 months. Like, the fuck? When are you gonna start changing your thoughts? Like that's been 5 months already. You know, like, you know, but that's the point. To heal, it means to heal, not to sit there and, like, listen, we're not here to keep talking about the same thing over and over. What you're here to do is talk about it, learn how to fix it, and start working on how to fix it, okay? Not because, you know, I went to NA meetings, and there'd be these people, they would come in there, motherfucker been clean and sober for 20 years, and he's still talking about the same thing. I'm like, bitch, you've been clean for 20 years. The fuck is your problem? I don't think drugs are the issue. My dude is you. So at the end of the day, like, we have to heal and move forward. It's time to move forward. But okay, all right. So it's about to be 9 o'clock. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna go because I have my daughter is downstairs. Probably hasn't eaten in 3 hours because she's the type of sit there. She's the cancer. Sit there and wait for me.
Oh yeah.
Her little thing.
Bye, Flo.
She's so pretty. That girl, 16462. She's very beautiful, right? Look at the girl, 16462. Look how pretty she is. Okay. I love you guys. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Meditation. All you need is a candle. That's it. Just bring yourself and a candle. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. You're beautiful, Mama. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
We'll send the emails.
Emails, yes.
And we'll put it on our stories, the code, in case we didn't send you the email. Check our stories.
Exactly. And then, you know what we'll do? I'll do like one fun night where we sit down and, like, everybody gets their wine together. I'll do some tarot readings. We'll have a fun time together. We'll read each other's cards. If there's anybody else who's a reader, I'll bring them in so we can get readings from other people too. You feel me? For free. Okay, that would be fun. I'll bring like a couple of tarot card readers in here, and everybody will get a reading. I want one too. Fuck that, like everybody gets one. So, because it's like I read people all day. So when I had that meeting with the medium, I was like excited. She wasn't all
Flo,
that.
what's her name?
Oh, the medium?
Yeah.
Her name was Cheryl Wagner, but she was good, but she was like, like she had like 4 things where I was like, whoa, but the rest of it I was like, no, I don't know. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, I feel you. You get mixed emotions.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
I said I have a question about mediums. Like, let's say that the medium is an English speaker, but the person you're trying to get to is a Spanish speaker. Does that language matter or no?
No,
that's a good question.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. Spirit does not. If they can't communicate in language, what they'll do is like when I'll see in my third eye, I'll see like a vision of something. Like they'll show me a number, or they'll show me themselves dancing a certain way, and it's like a story. Like for mediums, they get like movies in their head. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not words. Some people hear words. Some people are clairaudience, but the clairsentient and clairvisient, they're seeing visions the whole time. So. But doesn't matter which language, they'll just find a way to communicate. They have their ways. It's really special.
My mom tried to come through a medium, and my next door neighbor, where my mom lived, this lady was like trying to track her down, and it was like this whole long letter. Like my mom was trying to get to this lady, and this lady like found us. Like I have no idea who the medium was. I have no idea who it was. And she found us.
That's a believable.
I have the letter still. So crazy.
I 100% believe you. Can I tell you guys one thing that I'm waiting for? I can't wait to be on this and announce. Okay, guys, so it's official. I can actually talk to dead people. So I'm trying to get to that point. I'm trying to get to that point where people are in here. Hi.
Sorry,
she's beautiful. Get at it. Don't be sorry. So I'm trying to get to that point where I'm developing that point to the point where I'm in here with you. I'm like, okay. So whose grandmother's name was Marganillia? She's in here right now. Somebody, wait. What does the number 8 mean to you? What does the number 8 mean to you? Okay. So your grandmother was like this. Okay. I can't wait to do that shit. Yo, I'm gonna be the funniest medium in the world, bro. I'm like, oh, your husband is showing me. He's showing me dick pics. Your husband's showing me spirit dick pics. Your husband. Wait. Do you connect with dick pics?
Not dick pics. All the females gonna be like, yes.
Imagine as a medium, I'm like, yo, I don't know what she's showing me, but she's showing me some really big titties right now. They're huge, and she's just bouncing up and down. That's the type of shit I want to see. I'm like, yes, my grandmother had huge boobs. I'm like, see? That's the best way to communicate, yo. I'm telling you, yo. I'm like, yo, chill with all that serious shit. Let's make your family member laugh. They don't get that often to see you. Please don't come over here with all that sad shit. I died like this. Nobody cares. Let's find out. Tell us the lottery. Tell us the lottery numbers. I ain't trying to hear all that shit. What I look like. How about you let this bitch know how this dude is that she's dating right now? Is he good for her or not? Okay, we know how you died. You died in a car accident, blah, 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 whatever. Next question. Like, you know. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Why, so sorry. Yes, he's so cute. I love you. Oh my God. Okay, guys, my ass is burning from sitting on this bed for like 3 hours. Literally, I think it's all wet. There's a puddle around my ass.
Well, what? A puddle.
Yeah. No, it's not. There's no puddle, thank God. But there's like a little sweat.
Oh my God.
All right. So, I'm about to get retarded.
So where do you be sitting at? Where you be sitting at? Where do you be sitting at?
Where do I sit? Right now I'm sitting on my bed and I'm chilling, but usually I sit like on the couch and I do the readings, but it's because, like all that you'll see, like when I get my own spot, like I can't wait because like right now I stay with my mom and everybody because of what's going on. I was supposed to move out, but I decided not to do it. Yeah, save some money, But when I get my own spot, I have like an office, I want to have it downstairs where everybody could come over and we can all sit down downstairs and meditate together. Just do some weird spiritual shit, man. Like, see, like just chill, man. Like, come there, like take our shoes off, kick back, and like eat some fucking, I don't know, fucking cheese or something, and just chill out, you know?
Hey, this is gonna be on YouTube. This gonna be on YouTube.
Oh, I'm doing. That's one of the things. That's why I want you guys to be like okay with it, because no matter what, even if I'm doing meetings and people are in different states,
No, I don't care. I don't care.
Good. No, because I'll have like a screen. I'll have a screen there of people in the Zoom meeting, and then I'll have live people there with me. So it'll be like people in there, people on the screen in the Zoom meeting, and then a camera showing everything on YouTube. And maybe this will start off like a trend, and everybody will start doing it, and then everybody starts helping each other and creates communities where everybody could be there for each other. You know, like if I could start that kind of trend, that would be better than any fashion trend I could ever start. You know? Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. But I told Sadie, like, whoever's in these meetings all the time, we get to know each other. These are the people, you guys, like, I would be invited to my house. I'm not just gonna be like, everybody's invited to my house. Nah, bitch, I ain't giving my address to everybody. You got some crazy people out
careful with that.
What state do you live in?
There'd be some wilding people.
New York. She live in New York.
Oh, New York.
Yeah, New York. I'm in upstate New York. I'm not far from the city. Yeah, so anybody who's like in Boston, listen, even if I had those meetings though, I had them in my house, we're doing a full night of session. I would make sure that the downstairs is set up so everybody that drove from far away could sleep over. Like we'll have little, those sleeping bags or something, and everybody chills out. Or we can go outside and make a tent and chill out in the grassy area. That shit would be so cool. Start a fire, do some like talk. Like that shit is gonna be
some marshmallows.
Right, exactly. I'm doing this.
Two
Like,
tents. I'll bring them.
I have a tent here. Listen, everybody thinks this shit is. When I said I was gonna do this, I did it. When I say that everybody's gonna be with me, hanging out, and when people see that, more and more people are gonna want to come. Then I'm gonna have to get me a whole resort for that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be a whole community. That would be dope because it'll start like Listen, man, that's my dream. That's my dream. When I see myself, the vision for me, when I see myself, what I'm doing in like 3 years from now, because I don't want to take that long, but like when I see myself in 3 years from now, I see a lot of people that are thinking the same way. Because when I read this book, Swedenborg, Heaven and Hell, he explains that spirits with the same mentality hang out in the same places. So if I'm talking about the same mentality, imagine there's billions of people in the world. A lot of people think exactly the same. You won't believe it. So I want that to be here in the real life, and in our life, not in the real life, because but like I want us to all be together, and I want us to be thinking the same, feeling the same. Not where you go to a party and 1 minute you walk away and everybody's talking shit about you, and it's not real. Like this is gonna be real shit where everybody really cares about each other. Everybody's really listening to each other. It's like gonna be real stuff, man. Like we could just sit on the floor and be ourselves. Like girls could be walking around with no bras on, titties hanging out, flying around like, how you feeling? I'm good. Like that's what I want. That's what I want, bitch. I'm be like, are you wearing a bra? Get out. No, I was kidding. No bras allowed.
Nobody else talking. It's just be me and Flo talking. Y'all need to say something. Go talk about something.
No, they talk.
I just be trying to be funny.
Yeah, they talk. I love them all. Like, listen. So you guys. I love you guys all very much. We're gonna stop the meeting now. But tomorrow night, please, we're gonna send you the emails for tomorrow at 8. Just have a white candle. Let's get in there. Let's start the meditation process. Right,
something
Tyreek,
like this.
Everybody, really, everybody.
What you say?
What I said, everybody. Jasmine, 2 Jasmines in here.
Yep.
Sadie, Felicia, Yari.
Like this is good, Flo.
What?
Like a candle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't see nothing. Hold on. Let me see. Where you at?
Where you at?
Where you at, shorty? Oh yeah. That's cool. Any candle is good. Candle is good. It doesn't matter. And
Besa got her.
Oh, mine smells amazing.
So, all right, so everybody, I'm gonna have Sadie send you guys the email or whatever. So I guess everybody who came here tonight, and then you could send it to them again, like just forward to everybody, and then everybody thanks Sadie because she's a real big help in this. She's made this all happen.
Love, y'all.
To come together,
yeah,
and we actually see everybody
because she's got the. I get to fucking see everybody. You know how weird it is to be on Instagram and you're just talking to the screen, and it's like I hate looking at myself the whole time. Like, all right, I want to look at
we
people.
be asking you to add us.
Yeah, but I know, but you know, sometimes I don't add people because I'm afraid like they're gonna say some. Listen, I get awkward, I get weird too. Like somebody will be on there, I'm like, hey, what's up? Like I don't know how to act. Like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, how you doing? But then like, there's some people, I feel stupid and shit. But like, some people are mad natural about it, so it's all good. You know what I mean? But okay, so now. I love you guys very much. This was amazing. This is what does Donald Trump say? This is wait, I don't know how he talks.
It's gonna be huge.
Whoa, let's
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge.
Whoa, let's ask. What does everybody think about the t-shirts if they say "Make America Sane Again"?
Make America what?
Sane again?
Yeah. Sane
I'm
again.
down.
Yeah, I think it's funny. But not to like promote Donald Trump, but because you know, like
no, it won't be promoting Donald Trump. It's kind of like, you know, making a joke out of it.
Exactly. So we could do that, and then like I said, listen. So guys, when we promote the t-shirts, just remember this is all going towards our spiritual needs. So what I'll do is, like I said, and then if there's extra money in there, somebody, when I see you guys, if you really need help, please don't come at me like unless you really need it, because then somebody who really needs it could use it, and we can't help them. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm talking about is like if you're really struggling, like it's bad, like to the point where it's like I don't know what to do. Then you can hit me up, and I'll see what I can take out of that and just send you a little something. But at the end of the day, right now the goal is to raise the money so that when it's time to do these meetings, when it's time to make the candles, do all that stuff, everything that I make money on doing that spiritual shit is all going to be given back. Just know that everything that I make that's making money, it's going back. I make my money through tarot card readings. I'm good. The rest of it is just all for the spiritual stuff. So when we promote this stuff, everything that I have in that account, if it's like $300 and somebody needs 50, I could send it to them, and then whatever, we'll just help each other that way. Okay, guys?
No problem.
Okay. All right.
That's cool.
Guys,
That's cool. That's cool.
I'm gonna go now, and then tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I cannot wait to see you guys. I love you guys all very much. I love you.
Bye.
Everybody have a good time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I love you guys. Good night, guys. Good night. I love you. Bye. Bye, Sadie. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Flo. Bye, bitch.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Sadie. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Lily,
Good
Tyreek.
night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Who
Yes,
is
I heard you say bye.
Bye.
who's Lena
Bye.
Cosby?
Okay, bye. Bye, Ashley. Bye, Bree. Bye, guys. Bye, Tyreek. Bye, everybody. I love you guys. Good night.
Good
Bye,
night.
Nigel. Bye.